Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And I'm Carter Glasscock.
And look out, America. On Mike 4, he's back for 2023.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Seth Pomeroy. I don't talk like that. Sorry, you thought it was your favorite.
You were
really into
You
it.
started the bit. Yeah, we have
your
a rule
favorite.
on this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. What kind of fucking comedy podcast is this? I
gotta
gotta do a
finish
running
it.
bit. Jesus Christ.
Finish.
Ours
Ours lasts like 4 hours long, too, so you got to maintain.
It's great to be back. I'm the crackhead that lives below River's window. I'm very happy, surprisingly. No, I won't do it.
He dropped an anvil on me.
You guys podding up there? That's how this all started.
Sometimes you go into things with a plan and then something happens at the last second. And we're talking 25 minutes before we started recording. Our friend and Goods from the Woods heavyweight champion, Justin Morales, sent me a news item that is frankly too funny. And I'm just going to read the headline. This is
No, you said it's too funny.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just I'm giving a warning.
It's above our pay grade.
Yeah.
It's above our weight class. We need to stick with like B+ funny. We can't go to A-.
Yeah, that's why he's doing it up front. The rest is going to be not very
Okay, everyone who's used to our brand of humor can just skip through this part and then.
yeah, that's right. Skip over the best stuff.
This is Spiro Papakoski writing for the Toronto Sun. Is Hulk Hogan being wooed by Scientology?
Yeah. God, I hope so.
Look at there. Look.
I mean, yeah, fucking, I'm on the edge of my fucking seat. It's like I figured it's either he already was or he wasn't. But is he expressing interest on Twitter or something?
Oh, it's more than that.
This Scientology stuff, brother, there's some merit to it. I'm not convinced, but there's some merit to it.
Look, brother, I said take your vitamins and say your prayers. I never said anything about psychoanalysis.
My cock is the girth of a flashlight.
Thanks to Elron. Hulk Hogan appears to be increasing his social activity with known Scientologists and has been reportedly dating a church member for over a year.
That's the weirdest pussy on the earth. He knew it. He was like, I'm sick. I've done everything. At this point, I fucked my friend's wife. They filmed it. It said some terrible things. I'd like to fuck a Scientologist. It's got to be weird.
According to former church...
He did it all for the nookie.
I know.
That's
So many Scientologists.
Is Hulk Hogan that hard up for pussy? Jesus Christ.
I get real bored.
I think it's cash. Maybe. I don't know. But it's weird.
Probably.
Because before
Dude, it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, his whole body
Women
looks like a
love
fucking
him.
7-Eleven hot dog, and he's kind of fucking like, he's got like a swaying like fucking like palm tree like off of his shiny chrome dome top.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have. I would assume someone would fuck him under the pretenses of thinking he has money.
Yeah. Well, especially a Scientologist.
Yeah,
'cause
what's the
that's,
skin taste like?
That's their whole.
The other reason.
He's
Put your tongue on that.
Creatine.
He's a well-known name, and he presumably has some money. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
Any well-known name that could always happen.
I'm presuming
Captain Kangaroo could get could get jumped on and butt fucked in the streets because it's a famous person.
according to former church member Aaron Smith Levin, Hogan, real name Terry Bollea, also met up with Scientologists for lunch last week and was also seen at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game playoff Monday night, mingling with people in a private box.
Don't do it, Hulkster.
Also attending that game was Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise and Hulk Hogan, that's what set this off.
Top Gun Maverick.
They saw them, they were photographed together
Man.
in this private box at the Bucks game, and then someone was like, wait a minute, who's Hogan dating? And then they were like, oh shit.
Tom
got
Gun
an
Maverick
article.
needs to fucking he needs to shoot for someone a little bit more relevant. Tom Gun Maverick needs to get like fucking like a Bieber or a fucking Willow. Well, she's already in it, right?
Yeah, they was born into it, right?
Yeah.
Or-
But yeah, I mean like the Hulkster, it's like he needs to have like like an intern be like, who do kids like now?
Well, my question is, who at this NFL game is a Scientologist?
Well,
Because they're not just randomly ending up at the Cowboys-Bucks game.
Tom Brady, probably.
well,
That's where they do their private meetings.
well, I was going to say the Scientologists, like their main, American base is in Clearwater, Florida, which is on the other side of the bay from Tampa. So, yeah,
These
so-
fuckers.
yeah. So one,
Well, your team fucking lost.
Florida,
Fuck
baby.
you.
well, one has to assume if they've got that much, kind of dominance in that one area, they probably got season tickets and shit like that for their higher up members. So Hogan lives in Clearwater, Florida, where Scientology has a base. In March 2022, Smith Levin may have been the first to reveal that Hulk Hogan was dating a woman named Sky Daly.
Fuck yeah, he was.
A well-known second.
That's a magazine on airplanes where you buy like fucking koozies and shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can have a waterfall on my desk at work.
A pencil sharpener. I can buy that on this plane, or you'll send it to my house. Okay, that sounds good. That's better.
Who has weirder names, Mormons or Scientologists?
Scientologists.
They
worship Xenu.
No, but I mean when
The
they
other people worship Joseph Smith.
No, but I mean when they name their kids.
Oh,
Because Jason Lee, famously a former Scientologist,
Inspector.
named his kid Pilot Inspector.
That's
With a
because of
K.
skateboarding shit, though.
But then,
probably.
yeah, I think that's
I think
more.
that's just weed and skateboarding.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Scientology.
Wasn't he like friends with Sonic Youth and stuff?
Yeah,
too? I think
absolutely. He was like, he was indie rock Scientology for a minute, and then he became full blown, and then now he's back to Kevin Smith movies.
But then Mormons name their kids like Track and Treg.
Yeah.
they have very, very unusual names, but most of them are earth tones as opposed to Sky Daily.
Sky Daily.
They're reaching for the stars.
I take a
with that one.
Scientology name any day of the week.
Is that person a weird tanned, perverted
No. Okay, so
weightlifter as well, or
she
just
is
regular?
She is a well-known second-generation Scientologist who's in her mid-40s. She also noted that her parents are OT level 8, which is what Tom Cruise fucking is. That's the highest.
Oh, Hulk Hogan's fucking.
That's an
with
Hulk
that.
Hogan's
He's
a
in.
Scientologist, right?
Yeah, he's in.
It's got to be.
That's like a there is no spoon chosen one.
Yeah, Life of the Mind. I'm going to show you the Life of the Mind.
That's the life of the mind. That's the midi-chlorian counts off the charts.
That is you have been shown the Xenu thing, and you're still like, I'm in.
That's you have donated like $500
Right,
million.
that's that is
You saw John Travolta like unzip and like Xenu popped out. I was like, and then he like zipped back up, and then now you know.
That is the sunk cost fallacy level where you're like, all right, well, I'm almost $1 million in the hole in this thing. I don't care if there's aliens. I got to the only way around is through.
Yeah.
So Smith Levin recently said on his YouTube channel, growing up in Scientology, that he has no issues with Hogan dating a Scientologist. Quote, and this guy continuously refers to him as just Hulkster this whole time.
Wow.
Which is great. Quote,
close friends.
this is none of my business. It's none of our business who the Hulkster chooses to date. The problem is when you are dating a Scientologist and you're a massive celebrity like the Hulkster, what the Hulkster doesn't realize is that every piece of information about his private life, his business life, his family life is being funneled into Scientology to help them formulate a strategy on how to get the Hulkster into Scientology. And I'm
They're
like,
acting like as if like this is on the level of when he went into NWO.
I know,
Is this
right?
like, is he going to turn heel again?
I just think that he thinks every time he says Hulkster, it's like slowly like deprogramming him. Like if he just
Totally.
hears it enough.
And one Mr. Hulkster was found dead in his bathroom.
Yeah, it's well,
That's sad. I mean, I'm sure he's just run out of options.
yeah,
I mean,
he's getting back on the radar one way or another.
What are you gonna do? Buy another skidoo?
He's just show us that fucking hog again. That Pringle can fucking.
If you join Scientology at the top level, you get to look.
yeah,
The Hulkster
You get to look
sky.
into it like it's a kaleidoscope. And you see the creation of the earth and the volcanoes and all that shit.
It's designed by H.R. Geiger or whatever. Alien.
It's designed by H.R. Hufflepuff.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for Scientology. You got another.
last week we did talk about like best Twitter accounts, and I don't think his Twitter account is great, but he might have my favorite single celebrity tweet, which is where he tweeted a picture of himself and Bam Margera and just said, "Happy birthday, Bam! I can't believe you're gone. We miss you every day, brother."
Whoa. How does that happen?
Because he thinks he's Ryan Dunn, and he doesn't know the difference.
Oh.
Yeah,
That is terrible stuff.
That is.
That's like Mia Farrow once was like, "Happy birthday to my daughter," and it was a screenshot that said Mia Farrow's black daughter that she Googled. And that was like all over the internet. She was like, still my daughter. I just didn't have a photo available.
No.
But anyways, that's good
it's
stuff.
searched for it.
Yeah, it was like in the search. Terrible.
God, yeah, and then Bam Margera tweeted back at him was like, like, I'm still around, brother.
He's like, I'm in rehab right now. I'm bleeding internally.
Oh, this was before that, though. That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing.
Do you think we'll have
so
any?
sad.
We'll be better at navigating the internet when we're old, or will
No.
we embarrass ourselves?
No,
because
I've already, like, I can't figure out
Yeah.
TikTok and
We got to
new
log.
things.
There has to be a log off age.
Yeah, there has.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded
like,
TikTok.
hand me those keys and hand me those passwords because,
Yeah.
buddy, you got to sit around and stream until you're dead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so anyway, hail Xenu. Long,
Yeah, fucking A.
long live
Hail
Elrond.
Xeno. We've always been a pro Xeno podcast.
Yeah, Xeno and the Hulkster.
Okay, so now that follow up question.
Yes.
Now that Hulk Hogan is possibly allegedly joined Scientology,
That's his word.
who is the funniest person to join next? Because Hulk Hogan, I literally can't think of anybody
Yeah.
funnier.
Donald Trump.
Who's not
Trump is kind of kind of
But it's got to be someone like irrelevant. Like it's got to be like Marv Albert or something.
there? Or the guy from the New Radicals.
yeah,
That's that guy's name?
I think you're right, Sam. It is Trump, especially
it's
if
gonna
he.
be Trump.
It is
yeah.
Trump.
It's
yeah.
one thing if he gets the nomination again and loses, but if he just doesn't even make it out of the primary somehow, then join Scientology. Oh,
Well, I mean,
perfect.
he is a washed-up celebrity.
That's what I'm
craving
saying.
Spotlight, so it is kind of perfect for him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah. The problem with Trump joining is kind of the reason Hulk Hogan is like funny and surprising is because they're both carnies. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, you would think the carny doesn't fall for the fuck. He's not a mark. He's the carny. But
You're ahead of the
apparently-
game at some point in life, and then as you start to get forgotten, you get a little bit more desperate.
Oh
I
man,
guess.
so Melania has to go first though. She would convert, and then Trump would follow her into it, or something.
You should write a fan fiction novel about that.
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah.
I'd read this shit.
Clearwater Nights.
Yeah, you got to get Clearwater in there somehow. The title.
They're like-
Clearwater Chronicles.
They're going to have sex on the beach, and they stumble upon Shelley Miskovich's skeleton.
Oh, that's a great opening.
That's yeah.
Reverse Planet of the Apes opening.
Yeah.
All along it was Shelley Miscavige's head. That's how you start it. I'm in Hollywood. I live in Hollywood now. So
I live in
that's how I
Hollywood.
think. That's how I pitch.
He could write you a 10-page
Yeah,
book
yeah.
just describing Hulk Hogan's penis.
I'll pitch something on every topic of this episode. Give me fucking, let's get it going. I came here to make money, America. This is
Come to the
America.
right place.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
America, the city. I loved it so much. I came to see the city.
Oh, I love that. America, the city.
It's true.
Boy,
There's
You're not
nothing else
wrong.
but us, baby.
that's fucking brilliant, dude.
gotta
I'm
be.
not, I'm
Thank
not
you.
going to be able to shake that.
Yeah, that's right. America, the city.
What's up? It's Bam Margera, and you're listening to the Goods from the Woods podcast crew. Yeah, man.
So last week we tried out Stacker 2, the OG flavor.
That shit sucked.
Well, here's the thing.
It was a little sweaty.
I didn't tell you guys, but I got another Stacker 2 with a.
I saw it from where I'm sitting. I'm like, God damn it!
This one,
Stacker 2?
I wanted to try the original, and this one I figure we can just give it a taste test. We went over the history of Stacker 2, but this one I just found interesting because it's first of all blue raspberry, so I anticipate the flavor to
love
be
it.
slightly better, but also.
This feels like when you trip your nuts off on.
Well,
too.
it's called Extreme Energy B12, and then it says Extreme Energy again, except in all caps, and then it says 10,000%.
Of what? Just in general.
B12, I guess. I don't know.
of Stacker too.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Is B12 the boner?
No, B12 is like a pep you up, I think.
Oh, it's not
that
boner
was
stuff.
that was like one of the things that was in JFK's Dr. Feelgood injections
Oh,
every day.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
like shitloads of B12.
Dr.
Yeah.
Feelgood injections. That's good stuff. I would love to get so rich you get Dr. Feelgood injections.
Dr. Phil good injections.
It's 1 p.m. Come.
You have got to leave him alone.
Why are you putting me in a syringe? Hey,
When are you gonna? When you done taking it?
Okay, everyone's missing the pee-pee of the
Oh yeah, the PP ASMR that we did.
This is always Rivers just peeing in a cup. That's,
Yeah,
that's the
and then
funny
we drink
inside
it.
joke.
damn it! I did this last week too. I accidentally skipped the last cup. There we go.
I've been
This is
drinking
smaller.
Rivers piss for nigh on 2 years now.
It's made you feel healthier, right?
Yeah.
I hear it.
Well, look, I moved to LA to get taken advantage of, and it's been
Smells
happening
good.
every single day for almost 4 years.
I like blue raspberry and it smells good.
Yeah. All right, and
Does
it's
smell
got
good.
10,000% of something.
oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's
shit.
just like shitty blue raspberry candy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
I kind of like that. Kind
Has
of
the
little, little too sour for me.
It has the
Yeah.
bad
Honest.
aftertaste.
Yeah.
but It's
drops
better,
off.
way better than last time.
Way better than the last one.
But the last time was the bars on the ground in comparison.
For sure.
You know?
This is the best energy drink I've ever had in this fucking podcast.
You think so? Really? Okay.
Absolutely. It tastes
right.
like candy to me. This is what I want.
It's one of the. It's better than a lot of them.
It does taste like candy. It's like kind of a
Blow pop.
I guess like just to try and be critical. It's like I want it to be more candy-ish, but I guess I'm glad it's not, because that's always like a criticism I have too. Is like it tastes like straight up like fucking diabetes.
Yeah.
This doesn't taste so much like that.
It doesn't really taste like aspartame. Can I see the?
I know we have to see how our
it's got-
boners fare.
it's got
after
the
this.
real-
That's right. You can measure it by your boners.
It's got the real sugar in it, I believe.
Yeah, I mean it's 100. This is 100 fucking calories, guys.
Ooh, just like the other one.
10,000.
10,000%.
I think it's at 10,000 on the front.
Okay,
So
well,
how many boners does this get?
Oh, I'm having
so
one heart attack.
I have.
A warm heart
I'm
attack.
having one heart attack right now. I don't know how many boners
I have
on the way out.
identified what 10,000% means.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
There's vitamin B12, and I think there's a 240 micrograms, and that is 10,000% the daily value you need of vitamin B.
Oh wow.
Right there. It's right there on the calories. It's right there on the calories.
All
Right
that
there.
means.
It's right there.
wow.
Right there. It's right there. Right at the bottom there.
Call this man pilot inspector because he just did some detective work. It's a real PI right there.
Pilot inspector's got to be around auditioning age now at this point.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm sure he goes by Paul.
So that just means you piss out like 99% of that. Like,
Is this going to make our pee-pee yellow?
I mean, that's
our tinkly tinky pee pee.
that's the whole thing with like vitamins is like 100% is getting absorbed if you don't already have it in your body, and then your body just loses the rest
Yeah,
of
these
it.
percentages are a little bit
Like
wobbly.
there, I was reading something where it's like Americans like overtake vitamins by some like extreme quotient where it's
I
like,
believe that. Yeah.
yeah, because
That's why we're so healthy.
and it's working.
Well, just
Clearly.
the reliance on vitamins to like make you feel better instantly.
Yeah.
I've heard from
Oh my
some
God,
people
so
and their feverish
Homeopath.
cultish devotion to
Yeah,
it.
Yes,
homeopathic medicine.
Absolutely.
Clowns.
Yes,
Yeah.
fucking clown shoes. That makes me. I'm sure we overtake like everything, and baby, we do it in excess. We do everything in excess.
I don't know. I'm giving it. I give that like a solid 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's better than last week, and
I'll give
not
it
the
a.
worst.
I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, I'll give it a 10,000%.
Yeah, 10,000% for me. It tastes like candy. So
Seth was pretty taken with it.
I'm all the way there. It tastes like a goddamn blow pop. I was sitting in my dad's truck in
Hey, that's-
1988, and I was fucking feeling alive. That took me all the way back.
Rivers, there's a thing on this can. You got to tell me what the fuck you just gave us. It's words I can't pronounce.
Please don't consume on a podcast.
Please be nice to us.
Oh, phenylalanine.
No joke.
Fiddle-a-ling.
Yeah, that's what you just gave us.
Fentanyl?
Yeah.
They're putting it in
Fentanyl.
everything, even Stacker 2.
Yeah.
God damn, they sneak it in everything these days. Can't eat a goddamn chicken tender without getting a fucking
Now give him fentanyl.
some fentanyl.
Yeah.
It's true though, America. It's very true. You watch out what you're eating.
I remember at some point the rumor shifted. The yellow 5 was what made your dick tiny in Mountain Dew.
And kill
Oh,
your
yeah.
sperm count.
And then
Fuck
some,
yeah, it does,
And
dude.
then at some point, the narrative shifted. They're like, no, it's actually this shit called phenylalanine. So yeah, basically, as soon as we
God
were,
damn it,
Wait.
Rivers! You know how small my dick is. Gave me this shit.
Wait, well, if the fiddler on the roof, if the fiddler on the roof thing, is that what is the thing on Mountain Dew that turned that black Mountain Dew that turned your poop bright green?
oh, that's just it's
just the
just
dye.
black dye. Yeah. There's
Damn it, why am I dumb?
because it's the same thing that did it to you with the black Whopper bun at Burger King.
It made everyone's poo bright green, right?
Green, yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't the fiddle-a-ling.
No.
Jury's out on
That's how you know we're a terrible country. Is we're like we should eat stuff to make our poop more fun. We're
Liven
just
it up.
pieces of shit here.
But there's a
People
market
going
there.
through
It's like,
real problems.
just kill the stink. If you could have one that would kill the stink off poop, then
kill the stink off food. We'd have a happy, beautiful
I
world.
was gonna say we'd be closer to the utopia that we all want. Everyone just has stinkless shit.
Yeah, shame would just go right out the window.
You could step in a pile of it on the street, walk in, not know for days. Doesn't smell.
HO2, CCH, NH2, CH2, C6, H5. Hydrophobic benzene. Put it in a load of fizzy sugar-based drinks and give it to a child aged 5. When you pick up a delicious fizzy cold beverage, there's something that you may have never seen. Written underneath the drink's ingredients, it tells you it contains a source of phenylalanine. It contains a source of phenylalanine. It contains a source of phenylalanine.
I wanted to share part of this story. Honestly, this started me down a road, and the story itself, it's New York Times. Hiroki Tabuchi wrote this whole thing about a coal mining company, and believe it or not, they're doing terrible things.
Coal
they're
mining.
polluting.
Miners not being treated correctly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The vice president, apparently a guy crushed his hand in some fucking ungodly machine, and the vice president was like, hey, if you don't report that, I'll make it worth your while, because they wanted to have like a clean safety record. They paid him $2,000 for losing his entire ass finger.
Oh my god!
Yeah, just like
Not enough money.
No, of course not.
I've done the math.
Thank God someone said.
God, that's not enough. Yeah.
You ever seen a $2,000 replacement finger? It looks like shit. It looks like shit.
That's right.
That same vice president got at least one of his FedEx packages filled with cocaine intercepted at his house by the Department of Justice.
Hell yes.
But hey, he didn't. They actually dropped the trafficking charges.
Okay.
Yeah, because they wanted to, I guess, get a bigger charge against him. Which this company, by the way, they really like. Threw the book at him. I think they fined them $1 million.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they're terrible.
Coal
But
mining bastards, just like your grandfather and your grandfather before you.
I'm telling you.
They're coal mining everyone's souls for money.
But it was the opening of this article that really threw me down a very fun path this morning. So I'm going to read that. Just before 2 a.m., April 18th, 2018, Amy Price, the wife of coal executive Larry Price Jr., called the police in Bluefield, Virginia, to report her husband missing. Police scoured Bluefield, a town of less than 10,000 people nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and soon discovered Larry Price's white Mercedes in a deserted parking lot. Price, a 42-year-old father of 6, was an industrious business person who ran surface operations at an underground coal mine, one of the nation's largest, near Roundup, Montana. He also ran a motorcycle shop called Hog Pit Cycles that traded in used Harley Davidsons, and he had promised several investors big returns in coal. Recently, some of them had confronted Price about their money. As night fell, a driver traveling along a state road some 20 miles away from Bluefield noticed a man on the roadside, a disheveled Price who was rushed to a hospital. He told investigators that he had been kidnapped by an outlaw biker gang that drugged him and took him to his own motorcycle shop, where they robbed him before loading him into a van and dumping him on the roadside. When surveillance cameras showed that there hadn't been a robbery, he changed his story, saying the gang had actually asked him for coal train schedules for a scheme to traffic methamphetamine by rail.
Whoa.
Pretty good cover up though. If I had train schedules, I would use them.
Sounds like it's quite a plot.
That's right.
The truth was, Price hadn't been kidnapped at all. As he later admitted in court, he had staged his own kidnapping in a last-ditch attempt to escape investors' wrath for embezzlement schemes totaling over $20 million that he had hatched with the president of the Montana coal mine.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
Well, this is great.
And they go on to talk about his house, which was the largest home in the town, a 26,000 square foot, 10-bedroom stone castle. It had a tower, a moat, a drawbridge, a glass elevator, a bowling alley, multiple swimming pools, and an indoor shooting range.
A drawbridge to where?
To the home. He had a moat.
Oh, he had a moat. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You need a moat.
One kind of goes with the other.
Carter,
Yeah.
you need a moat.
Yeah.
How's this dog going to get back
How?
inside? You got to drop the drawbridge.
You know how many dogs have just fallen into the moat?
Just falling into the moat.
Carter, how will I defend against the Visigoths if I don't have a moat?
It's a moat full of dead dogs. This is horrible.
And the barbarians don't want to go in the moat because there's so many of them.
I got tired of letting the drawbridge go up and down all the goddamn time. I just let the dogs fall in the water.
Hey, you laugh, man. I wake up in the morning, I piss into my moat. That's true. Then I pull my drawbridge up. No one can fucking tell me a shit.
He also had an indoor shooting range with bank vault doors. So,
Whoa.
I do appreciate the safety
Give
level.
me rich guy stuff.
Just the craziest shit ever.
Could this door be more special?
Yeah.
Can it look like? Can it look like Ducktales? Can we get a Ducktail level spinning lock on this safe door?
You give me a full duck suit and a monocle. I would like to dive into the
Is it possible to spit gold coins out of your mouth and swim through them?
Spray paint these coins gold.
So at his sentencing, Price admitted that the full scope of the embezzlement was closer to $40 million.
Yeah, clearly.
So
In your castle home.
he told the cops that they're like, oh, actually, you were lowballing it. It's actually I stole way more.
Oh, that's nice that he was upfront about it.
Yeah, and they also
Blue
discovered
Ridge ain't seen the likes of a criminal like this since Gummy Joe.
Yeah, of course, Gummy Joe.
Gummy
Gummy Joe.
I robbed the Haribo train as it was rolling through town. I got
He'd
the ones
sleep on one of the cars of the Haribo train.
I got one that tastes like Coca-Cola. You wouldn't believe it. Oh, and also they found out that the owners of this coal company, there's actually just 3 shell companies, and one of them is a Russian oligarch who's very close to Vladimir Putin. So just all around terrible.
Oh man, you've uncovered a fucking national.
say.
Well, and, shout out to the New York Times, but like I said, check out that article. Hiroku Tabuchi, it's up now on New York Times. But that led me down to something I didn't know I had an interest in until I read the story, which was men who kidnap themselves.
Oh, to get out of marriages or something?
Just in general, if anybody out there wants to do a fun Google search, and I will say the Wikipedia article on people who kidnap themselves is way too fucking short. If you just go to Google and type in man who kidnapped himself or, man who faked kidnapping, the results are just stunning. So I was going to go through a couple of these because there's plenty of women, obviously, that fake their own kidnappings too. But the motives for that is just like, yeah, dude, men are creeps and they kidnap women sometimes. So they are like, they always have to lie about what happened to them and it's always bad. With the dudes, it's way funnier because they have to come up with the most elaborate reasons for being kidnapped and they have to come up with the most insane details. So, and the shocking thing is a lot of these are pretty fucking recent.
Yeah.
Like I was,
Balloon Boy kidnapped himself.
Yeah.
Balloon Boy.
Falcon Heaney, shout out.
We should have him on the podcast.
I think they're all like the last I heard he was doing metal songs for Trump. So
Well,
he was in Trump's metal song department.
they're like, how many songs did you write today? How many? I wrote some riffs.
this is my band, Five Finger Death Balloon. So this first guy, in February 2021, 19-year-old Brandon Souls was found with his hands tied up behind his back with a belt and a bandana in his mouth near a water tower in Coolidge, Arizona. He told authorities that 2 masked men had kidnapped him, hit his head, and knocked him unconscious. The men then drove around before dumping him where he was found, Souls said. But after conducting an investigation, detectives found no evidence the kidnapping occurred. Police said that they investigated Souls' claims, including that he was taken by the masked men because his father had hidden large sums of money around town.
Yeah.
So he's like, my
Word
daddy
got around.
They're looking for my daddy's buried treasure.
And then what happened? They just arrested him immediately.
They found
that's nice.
Yeah, pretty much. They
Thanks
found
for
no
telling us
evidence, and police also searched through surveillance videos. That's the thing that's just
Yeah, what year is it, you fucking idiot? You're being filmed everywhere.
everywhere.
It's America the City. I'm actually not joking about that. Out here, you'll just be like walking your dog and you look up at some asshole's like live Instagram and you're like, oh fuck, I'm in this video
Yeah.
for millions of I'm gonna walk over there. Thanks a lot.
You know what? Just get used to your dirty laundry being everywhere.
I'm telling you, I'm leaving it everywhere.
A
Your
sock
house,
here,
in
a
this
sock
house,
there.
in this house, on the street.
But yeah, they found nothing to corroborate the story. Souls then confessed to authorities that he made up the story in order to get out of work at a car shop, the tire factory where he
It's time to quit that job. If you have to kidnap yourself to get a day off.
or at least feign a sickness.
I'm on heroin today. So I won't
I'm
be
on
there.
heroin today, and I got fucking snot coming out of my ears, and you don't want to be around me. So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah. Also, this is 2021 when this happened.
Yeah, when you can be like, I have
COVID.
like that. Like my neighbor from fucking 2 states away has the sniffles, and I can't come in. You can absolutely
That
just say
is true.
COVID.
In a COVID world, why even kidnap yourself.
Yes, that's
People don't even want to
accurate.
see the test anymore. They
Numbers
don't.
have really gone down since COVID. The kidnapping yourself thing.
A manager for the store declined to comment, but according to Soul's Facebook profile, he no longer works there. So yeah, that's that guy. And we're kind of amping up here. You might notice a slight escalation here. Rogelio Andaverde.
I'm down. I would never talk shit to a guy named Virgilio. I'd be like, you seem really nice.
Around 10:30 p.m. on October 4th, 2013, 34-year-old Rogelio Andaverde was at his home in Edinburgh, Texas, with his wife when two masked men with guns forced their way in and grabbed Andaverde.
Only laughing because it's fake. Just to be clear.
That's what's so fun
America.
about this.
I know
They're
you're
all
worried.
great.
I know you're worried.
His wife, Maria Hernandez, immediately called authorities and was quote unquote petrified after witnessing what she thought was the abduction of her husband. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Guys
yes.
in masks, yeah.
Just watching TV and all of a sudden the
How would I
craziest
describe them? They sounded just like his buddies from work.
Yeah, exactly. His two best friends from high school.
Search helicopters and a dozen deputies from the Department of Public Safety were called in to look for Andaverde. The search was called off after a couple hours went by without any fresh leads. 2 days later, Andaverde showed up at his house and told his wife he'd been released by his kidnappers. It's like, yeah, there's that whole like ransom part of it.
They're
You
just like, nah, we'll give him back.
like you don't. There's no.
That was crazy, right? We shouldn't have kidnapped him. That's crazy. What are
we
we
were just
doing?
bored. It was Tuesday. It was just, we were just.
That's our bad. We're sorry. Just we're clean slate. We're gonna let you go.
Like,
Sorry.
if you're returned in this storyline, some transaction had to have happened.
Sure.
Like it's either a thrill killing or there's a ransom. So if you're back and there's no ransom,
Do the
anyway.
cops then arrest everyone, right? They don't just go, well, that's weird. I guess it didn't happen. Well, goodbye. How does that work? What's the protocol?
Follow-up investigation showed that he had set up the kidnapping himself so he could quote
further
unquote
investigation.
spend time with his friends and party.
That is a great reason, though. A really pure reason to get out of stuff.
Man, I got to do shit like
He was
that.
like, life's for the living, dude. I know
me,
it.
me, Rivers, and Sam and Seth can all go and fucking check out Avatar: The Way of Water. They have to come and pull me out of the room.
Yeah, with
Scare the shit out of Carly.
let's get some balaclavas and some fucking plastic guns and let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings, boys.
She sees your car.
That was just like the craziest shit.
So wait, what happened? I mean, they just let me go. I don't know. They were just, they were hungry. You know how some people can get like hangry. They were hungry.
Why is there buffalo wing sauce on your shirt? What?
Seems like there's evidence of a bitchin' good time on you right now.
This one is incredibly recent. December 31st, 2022. So New Year's Eve.
Whoa. I remember this day.
I was there.
This
I
is
was
the day I
around.
remember. Yeah.
Paul Iera of Wollongong, New South Wales, Australia. Keep in mind what day it is when this is going on. It is New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's 35 years old. He left his residence at 11:35 p.m.
To get kidnapped?
informing his partner that he was going to, quote unquote, meet his financial guy.
To watch the fucking fireworks together for what?
He's gonna meet his financial guy at 11:30 at night.
Right.
Yeah, 11:35 on New Year's Eve. He's leaving his girlfriend.
That's code for coke dealer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
drug
well-
dealing. Yeah, that's drug dealing. Solid.
After he left his home, his girlfriend received several text messages alleging that he had been kidnapped by a sex worker. Because of Iera's past experience with this particular sex worker, his girlfriend believed him and quickly reported him to the police.
All right.
So she got a text that was like, yeah, Ashley kidnapped me again. Like,
Yeah, I know what it means when you go and do your taxes.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, oh boy.
Kidnapped. 20
He's
minutes
going to go
makes a
get on a
difference.
payment plan for his taxes
That's right.
in the ass.
oh no, this is the text that the sex worker sent him, supposedly. Thank you for sending Paul to me. Now payback is a bitch. Bye bye. And then that's the first one, and then the second one.
Leave it to man.
Yeah, no, this is the next one, and it's amazing. I'm going to be fair. Fair is misspelled F-A-R-E. I'm going to be fair, okay? We will keep him.
Taxi cab fare.
$3, please. $3.
This is going to be fair. We will keep him with us until the morning when misspelled W-E-N, he gives us his dirt bike. Then we can call it square.
Fucking A. That's good shit.
So he ransomed his own dirt bike.
I love it.
Not even cash. He was just like, just give me the easily traceable dirt bike.
I love it.
You know, the one with the serial number and the loud motor.
Just so he could have someone lube up the crook of their elbow and fuck it. You can have my dirt bike.
And it is a really dirty dirt bike, guys.
While we were just sitting around waiting for the new year, thinking about resolutions, there was a guy fucking the crook of an elbow.
I know. God damn, what was I doing?
Nothing. I wasn't doing shit.
I don't think I did much. I ate a pizza.
You were in Palm Springs.
I was in Palm Springs, but you still got just pizza there. It's not that different. I can either fuck someone's wife or eat a pizza, so I ate a pizza. Palm Springs, baby.
After the report was filed, the cops quickly reviewed the CCTV cameras in the vicinity, and they immediately discovered the man wearing a basketball jersey entering another woman's residence with an overnight bag,
toothbrush, and
He was wearing a jersey.
And flip flops.
I will say, it's summer in Australia. It is summer in Australia.
It is summer in Australia.
Yeah.
That's a state of mind.
But I do like that they included that detail. Like, this dude was mad comfortable.
Yeah, no shit.
yeah. Yeah, what jersey?
Happy New Year, Australia. Walla Walla Bing Bang.
Yeah.
Australia.
Toon Squad.
Yeah. I'll make fun of your whole fucking country. All right, I'm American.
The next
I'm fucking
day,
around. I'm fucking around.
the next day, Ira called his father to inform him that he'd been kidnapped and would be left behind in his car by the kidnappers. So he called him as like, they're gonna leave me in my own car.
God, that makes it all so much better knowing that he spoke like that. I know. That makes it so much better when he was like, I'm gonna go fuck that whore down the street. I can't do the direct.
Hey, Pop, they're gonna make it real easy for you. I'm gonna be in the back of my Subaru Justy.
I'll give you me dirt bike. You can have a dirt bike.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, I bought you the dirt bike.
You'll let me blow me cummies all over your backside. You can have me dirt bike. You can tell my pip they left me in the car.
At around 10:30 a.m., police conducted a high-risk vehicle stop on Ira's white van, believing he was being held hostage inside. The court heard Ira allegedly told them that he was kidnapped by unknown men, but identified the sex worker as directing the kidnapping.
Yeah.
So this like fake lady that he made up.
She was very sexy and made up. And
Yeah. She
grab
was.
him by the legs.
Yeah,
The legs. I'm like, why are you still dressed up for an escort date?
Those one of those big cones.
Yeah, I'm running this show.
That Cecil B. DeMille cone.
The court also heard that he was the claim that he was driven far away before being left in his car in the morning and told to wait for instructions. And it's like, yeah, you don't let the hostage to their own devices.
Yeah,
You do if you intimidate them enough.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was too scared to drive away.
They threatened to put a brown snake on me while I slept. Police dispute this and say no vehicle matching that of the alleged kidnappers was seen. He is expected back in court later this month.
Sure.
So this is ongoing.
I love it. Let's find this fucking guy. Let's kidnap his ass.
For real this time.
Let's show this motherfucker what a kidnapping looks like.
This is what it looks like. Yeah, you lick the end of a knife.
Yeah, and I throw a lit cigarette in the trunk and close it. His bit burned. Oh my god.
Oh, man. I want to do that to somebody. Fuck up.
He deserves it. You gotta teach you not to get fake kidnapped, dummy. Gonk.
And this last one, Jonathan Michael Davis.
Still a stupid name, even though it's normal.
Not the guy
normal, but you know.
Not the guy from Korn.
I was gonna say one name away from the lead singer from Korn.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not.
that's right.
It's not
Jonathan
that.
Davies.
It's not that Jonathan Davis.
Jonathan Davis. Is that right? He was in Korn and he was also Gimli in Lord of the Rings.
and in the Kinks.
Jonathan, and he was in the Kinks.
He was in the Corks.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was in the Corks.
basic ass names that get thrown around.
And my ox.
If they sounded like that, if Korn sounded like that,
Instead of going umbama naki naki, they went in my
if
ox.
it was a little bit more regal,
Yeah.
I can enjoy it.
On February 27th, 2018, 34-year-old Jonathan Michael Davis went missing. His relatives began receiving messages explaining that he had been kidnapped and that they needed to pay a ransom of $375 secure his freedom.
That was for what? Back rent or something?
Bail.
Yeah, he's like, I get $375.
Such a specific number.
Yeah, that's for something. That's like an omnibus of like all the Spider-Man comics or something. Like he could have just got a job. He could have just got a job.
The kidnappers threatened to injure Davis if his family did not pay the ransom quickly. They even sent a picture of Davis's broken finger with a promise to break the rest if they did not pay.
Well, what was that picture from? The internet?
Probably.
Oh, you're gonna find out.
Of a different race.
They went and actually broke another guy's finger. They're like, what are we doing? Now we actually broke a dude's finger. Like, we need the photo.
The Davis family reported the kidnapping to Oklahoma police on March 1st. The police called in the FBI and United States Marshals. The same night, Davis was tracked to a casino in Tulsa where he was gambling.
Wow.
Davis
Trying
had
to double that money.
Davis,
Ransom money. He's trying to double it up.
Can you please extend my credit line to $375 exactly?
He's like, I'm hot. I know it. Just let me spend.
Davis had been sending the messages to his relatives on his own phone. All the agents had to do was track the phone. Davis's finger was not broken either. The picture he sent was downloaded from Google Images.
There we go.
In fact, the picture was one of the first to appear when agents Googled broken finger.
Wow. He didn't even scroll down. God damn.
Broken just like that.
Didn't even go into Wikimedia.
Yeah.
You
Is
know?
that what that is? Is that something?
Yeah, that's what
Wikimedia?
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's
Wikimedia.
Wikimedia.
Oh, I thought you said Wikipedia.
Yeah, you don't know
I was
about
like,
the
that's
future.
porn. That's
Rivers
definitely
knows
porn.
about the future. You don't know.
I don't know
You
shit.
live in the past.
I live in the present, dude. I live in the here and now, dude. There ain't no wicked media.
Yeah, there ain't no wicked media. Is it a porn company?
Yeah, wicked media.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah. So I went down that rabbit hole today.
That's
and,
amazing.
Super fun. I don't
Tell
know
you what, you can kidnap yourself from your town, from your wife, from society, but not from your own feelings.
No.
God damn.
No.
Give
I'm
this
saying.
man, Venmo him $1.
Give me, I was like, Venmo me $1 and give me more B12 because I'm on 10,000.
I'm on
right now.
10,000 right now.
I'm gonna keep it 10,000 with you.
Keep it 10,000 right now.
Can I keep it 10,000 with you? I'm gonna shit my pants.
I'm gonna keep it about 100,000 with you right now. I killed my
Absolutely shit
son.
my pants.
I killed my son. I'm gonna keep it 100,000 all the way. I'm gonna push these thousands to the top.
These thousands, how are we gonna make it out here in America, the city?
Yeah, that's right. These thousands are full of lies.
Oh Jesus, there was some shit in that energy drink. It did taste mild, but I feel crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping it 10,000 right now. Oh.
Woo! The energy.
You ever just known, like, you just called it like Babe Ruth, like, I'm not going to sleep right tonight.
I'm
just calling it.
Yeah, I'm doing push-ups, crying. Just trying to get out. There's so many percentages in here. There's 10,000. I've only cried out about 36%. There's 10,000.
I'm going to keep it 10,000 with you. I'm the devil. I'm not.
I'm going to keep it 10,000. Scientology's real.
Scientology's real and I'm the devil.
10,000, 100,000, Tom Cruise. We talk about millions.
I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's work.
I'm going to keep it 1 trillion million. Your mama's stupid.
Sorry. But yeah, I encourage everybody to go to Google and type in "man kidnapped himself" because
That's good.
there were some other ones. A guy owed $50,000 because he bet too much on the Super Bowl, and so he kidnapped
ran.
himself
good.
for the $50,000. There was one where a kid got bad grades at Gwinnett College outside of Atlanta and told his parents that he was kidnapped.
It's good. I should have used that a lot more in my life. I'm 40 now. You can't really say that.
That one I love because it is taking the "my grandmother died" to just a whole other fucking level.
I'm not going to come home and you can tell Holly that I was kidnapped. Did you like?
Why do I have to tell her?
Don't release this podcast. All right, she'll never know. I'm officially kidnapped, dude. You did it.
I didn't do
Now
shit.
give her some money. $20, 175.
There was a post on some law blog where it was like the headline for the blog post was like, "Why kidnapping yourself is always a bad idea." Like,
The law blog.
as if there's some crazy person on the edge of doing it, and a law blog would change their
Isn't that
mind.
such,
Wait,
that's such
that's
an
illegal.
old-timey way of saying it. Like it seems like every like angry comedian's like, "What, are you going to start a fucking blog about it?" Like who has a blog anymore?
Is that true? Or people say that?
I feel like that's like any comedian over 50 who's like terrified of being canceled. It's like, "What, are you going to start a blog about it?" I was like, I don't think there are blogs anymore.
No, well, there's law blogs.
Substacks.
Substack. Or what are you
Substacker twos, yeah,
what
baby.
What are you going to medium about it?
Yeah, Substacker 2, 5,000
You
B12s.
better stack it up. Get them subs and stack it up.
Oh, this episode's going to be unlistenable.
No, it's not. This is like a self-help money. This is how you win. We're
Grind
winners.
set.
That's right. This is grind set the episode.
This is grind set mindset. 10,000%.
Yeah, that's right.
10,000 hours, outliers, 10,000 B12s. I have a boner. I have a huge boner. And it's frightening me.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Are you?
Carter's scared of his own boner again.
We better kidnap ourselves, dude.
Take these chains from my heart and set me free. Be as fair to my heart as you can be. Then if you no longer care, all the love that's beating there, take these chains from my heart and set me free.
We have a segment on the show called Top 3, where we reach out to our listeners in the Goods from the Woods Studiverse at the Goods Pod on Twitter.
right, yeah.
Have them write in top 3 lists that they wish us to populate. First up, the Stokes County Boys at SC Boys Podcast, doing the hard work down there in Kakalaki. They want to know top 3 debut albums.
Ooh, this one's tough.
This one was tough. I set some parameters for myself on this, so I'll just do mine very quickly. My parameters being, when we say debut albums, because the obvious ones are George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, but he was already in the goddamn
He was an
Beatles.
artist already.
Right,
You know,
right.
Paul Simon. It's like he already did Simon. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Those were some of the
Kevin
ones.
Federline's first album.
K-Fed. Oh, yeah. Popo Zao. Oh, who could forget
Wow,
it?
that's
Sorry.
But yeah, so I was trying to think of like people who just hadn't done hardly anything
Absolutely.
up until then.
This was their big splash.
This was their first
the beginning
thing.
of their
The
career
beginning.
pursuit.
because like even
Gotcha.
like a band like Led Zeppelin, like as influential as that is,
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin's original name was the New Yardbirds.
Totally, yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm discounting
Roger Waters'
those.
Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. That's the best debut album by any artist. I'm sure. Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking, but me,
Well-
I'm stoned.
Does that... Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay,
That gives me...
that's just my own personal. That's just what I was limiting myself
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Gotcha,
Rivers
gotcha.
can have limitations,
Yeah.
Carter. You can fly as high as
You
you
can do
like.
whatever.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm on 10,000.
I'm
So
just
I'm
letting
keeping
you know.
10,000 with you guys.
And I will say this, and the other thing that kind of went into how I judged this was a band that their first album could have been their last album, and you would have gotten the whole. You know,
Sure.
like you know, it could have been Sex Pistols first and last. You know, grand
Right.
opening, grand
One and
closing,
done, yeah.
fucking one and done. And they would you would still have a good idea of what they would have been. So with that in mind, honorable mentions, Ready to Die. You know, that was the one that
yeah,
immediately
of
came to
course.
mind. Where I'm like,
Of course.
the fact that he made a second album is
Man,
great. but
hip hop, there's going to be like tons of
There's
these.
shitloads of
Like-
Well, hip hop has
Yeah.
like one hit or one album wonders where people just had one badass record.
That's right.
And never did shit again.
Oh, yeah.
like
That's
not a
right.
song. Like they could do 20 songs, but it was just that one.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
that happens a lot.
50
in
Cent.
hip hop.
50 Cent.
Yeah.
But he already had a bunch
Game.
of shit out before.
Yeah, he had
Lauren
mixtapes
Hill,
and
but
stuff,
she was already in the Fugees.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, those are my parameters.
Yeah.
I'm just
I was
telling
going
you
to say,
mine.
I guess that means like Fugazi doesn't really count either.
Well,
'Cause he's
that's
doing
different
Minor Threat
because-
before that.
That's almost a different.
But those
like,
are very
genre,
different
though.
styles.
Yeah, it is a
Exactly.
different genre.
And also,
Okay.
there's two singers, so it's a different thing too, because it's like it's both their band.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because
That makes
I
sense.
almost wouldn't count like Danzig because the Misfits has such
See,
a
that's
different
so
sound.
linked to Misfits to me, though.
really, I
It has
separate that.
It's got a different sound though.
And Danzig was such a
metal
mainstream.
Yeah.
Group. I mean, they were like
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah, the honorable mention, Ready to Die. The other one I said, Frizzle Fry by Primus, a band that is just
I love that
born
album.
into the world as Primus.
Uh-huh.
Like that first record
That's
and their
funny.
most recent shit, you're just like, I mean, goddamn. So with that in mind, number
I was
3.
that album the other day.
To defy the laws of tradition. It's a crusade only of the brain. Number 3, with that in mind, the Ramones. First album.
Yeah, self-titled.
That
yeah.
Sure,
could
and
have been
that's,
the
like,
first and
defining,
last,
yeah.
and you would get the fucking Ramones. Like that
And
was
it's also like they deviated very slightly from that formula.
Right,
Like
yeah.
their entire career.
Yeah,
Like,
it's basically Phil Spector.
Yeah, and a handgun.
Yeah, Phil Spector.
Yeah, and a handful of pills, yeah.
Phil Spector pointed a gun at Joey Ramone and made him do different. But other than that, and then ignored the rest of the band because I think he was in love with him.
Hell yeah. That's show business, America the City. That's what we're talking about.
Hell yeah.
Get you in a room, put a gun in you because you didn't tell me you loved me. Welcome to Hollywood.
My number 2 is Rage Against the Machine.
I was thinking that too because they only had 2 records when they were at their biggest, right?
They had
they had like 3.
They had 3.
But with the first,
And they have that covers album too.
Yeah, they have 4 records total. One of them's a covers record. First album, Evil Empire, Battle of Los Angeles.
Yeah, I agree. I think their self-titled one's perfect too. But like,
And I by the way, with that record specifically, have gotten such a renewed interest in it recently because
it stands up, dude. It's
it
good.
100% stands up. It is also very fun to go and watch Gen Z YouTubers reacting to Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Because
That's funny.
you're like, okay, well, first of all, a lot of times they'll like have the lyrics up on the screen and they're just like, wow, these guys were like talking about cops killing people when did this come out? 1992,
Well,
you know?
Totally.
I think also like people of like maybe our age maybe got into it around Battle of Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's about when I
So
started.
that's when like it was like that was like their during the new metal period.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
for
that was
sure.
their like entry into it. Although I've gone back and like Evil Empire fucking rips, dude.
yeah,
That album's so good.
First record, I mean, yeah, I would say, yeah, all 3 of their records. Battle of Los Angeles is their weakest record, and it's still really good.
I agree.
You know, so yeah, number 2, Rage Against the Machine. Again, just being like fucking out of nowhere, really. You know,
None of the members could top it.
no.
Yeah, it's great.
That's another good point. Yeah,
Yeah, because I was going to say Audio Slave, but I can't. I guess I can't because
yeah.
Velvet Revolver.
Yeah, they say Velvet Revolver is big
Audio
time.
Slave. It's really sucks. These are my favorite bands. I can't. These rules really make it hard for
Yes,
me
it
personally.
when facing down the choice of Calm Like a Bomb or Like a Stone, you know, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is.
I will say about Audio Slave, I was not the biggest Audio Slave guy. It was interesting to hear that band do slow songs because that's just not a thing Rage really does. Their quote unquote slow songs are just like ticking bombs. You're like, all right, when's this going to go crazy?
Totally.
And then it does.
Yeah.
So to relax them working, you know, more melody and shit. Anyway,
I'll give them points for that shit.
my number 1, and I always reference this, is just like, because again, just out of nowhere, this dude was literally delivering the mail in Chicago, put out an album, and it's one of the most timeless things ever. John Prine, self-titled, first
yeah.
album. Fucking
Oh yeah, no shit.
every single song isn't just good. You could print it in a poetry book
Yep.
and it would be able to hold its own there. But literally, he was just a guy who would deliver mail during the day and then play songs at night. He was from Chicago, and he claims the front cover of that record is him sitting on a bale of hay, which was a record label decision. And he was like, yeah, that was actually the first time I'd ever sat on a bale of hay.
That's exactly
was for
how
that
it
album cover.
They're like, let's brand you, motherfucker. You're a great singer. Let's brand it up.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I always reference that one just
that's
because
awesome.
every fucking song in there is perfect. Because even, you know, I was trying to think of like even bands that I revere usually take like 3 or 4 albums to really get cooking.
I was looking through a bunch and like I thought it was like their debut. Like, oh yeah, they had one before that was like, kind of okay.
Right.
Blondie Parallel Lines. Like, oh yeah, that album, what a standout. Then I was like, oh, she had a record called Blondie before that.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he
self-titled
fucking
before
talks
that,
about
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my top 3: Ramones, Rage, John Prine.
That's solid.
What you got, Carter?
Oh yeah, honorable mentions like that where it's like I forgot they had one before that was Spiderland by Slint. They have one before that. That's
Yeah.
kind of okay.
Yeah.
So top 3. Number 3, Entertainment by Gang of Four.
Oh, I thought about that.
Dude, it fucking just.
Oh, yeah. And they only did that once, really.
They only did that one. It's like it's kind of established that whole like dancey punk, but dance, but like a lot of like political overtones to it, and sounding like you're having like a mental breakdown, vocals kind of. And I mean, Fugazi, fucking Rage Against the Machine, all those bands would not exist without Gang of Four.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean,
100%. He
I think
produced
would
their
not.
shit and ripped them off.
Faith No More would not. None of those bands would exist without that band. And like they couldn't live up to that their own standard. Like it's a perfect album, and they couldn't
that shit
replicate
rules.
it. So yeah, Gang of Four, Entertainment, just for how goddamn influential it is. Like it's
yeah.
insanely influential.
Yeah, I mean, Rage ties directly into that politically.
I'm
At least
sure.
you're
For sure.
I was going to say the guitars.
fucking Marxists.
And the guitars in that record just sound like buzzsaws. I mean, it's very similar.
Oh, it's awesome. Andy Gill's guitar playing is so
That
great.
is the nastiest, craziest guitar playing.
The fact that they've tried to remake that album with like
he
fucking
hates it. They all hate that record the way it sounds.
It's
It's
stupid.
hilarious.
Like,
And
yeah, they
that's
have,
why
like-
it's so good.
yeah, they do like those like fucking like trash can like fucking Saint Anger drums over over. It's like it's perfect the way it is. It's supposed to sound boxy and like claustrophobic. Like
they made a bunch of money. Randy Gill did producing records, and that's what happened.
And they tried to George Lucas.
Wait a second, we should have been less
statement.
talented and more professional.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's probably right.
Number 2, Enter the 36 Chambers, dude.
Oh,
Wu-Tang.
yeah, and that's a fully formed first
fully
record.
formed, dude. And and they never topped it.
Very
and
true.
like it just every one of their careers like shot out of a cannon from that album.
Yeah.
And it's still so fun and like memorable and like it just in terms of like getting acquainted with a franchise, which is what Wu-Tang feels like. Like it's like a perfect entry point. Like
it's funny you say that because not only does it feel like that when they negotiated that contract,
right.
It's revolutionary in that RZA got options for each individual member to negotiate separately from the record label.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that
that's right.
never fucking happens with any band.
totally.
Where he was like, if you want Wu-Tang on your record labable, ODB's got to be able to get his own outside of your shit, has to be able to separately negotiate with anyone he wants. Same goes for GZA, same goes for everybody.
It's awesome.
And that had never happened in music before. And it's fucking wild still. Like
it's like the Avengers before.
It's standard now.
Single movies.
For sure.
You're like the Avengers are here now. Let's leave the Captain America movie.
Yeah,
it's like the reverse.
They're like the White Album, the group. It's like their imperfections is what makes it perfect. Like it's I fucking and you know everyone loves the iconography of Wu-Tang and all that shit.
Yeah,
the logo
and they're sampling Barbra Streisand and that shit.
Yeah,
They're doing all kinds
and
of crazy stuff.
and it's creepy in an enticing way, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's super funny,
and it's funny.
for
Yeah,
sure.
hell yeah.
all right, number 1. That may have been number 1, but I'll say just to throw it on there. Here Come the Warm Jets from Brian Eno.
Oh, interesting. Wait, is that his first album?
He put out one with Robert. Well, I guess he was at Roxy Music.
I mean, like I said, that was my
That's
that was just my standard.
bullshit
Yeah,
standards.
that was,
No,
that
I'm
was
thinking
just
of
for me.
Another Dream World. Here come the wait, Here Come the Warm Jets is the first.
Here Come the Warm Jets, and then it's taking Tiger Mountain by
the last
Strategy,
one's
and then
World.
Another Green
Yeah,
World.
yeah.
But yeah, Here Come the Warm. He's just one of the most influential guys ever in
shit
music,
rules.
and like I love him. Dare I say more than Bowie, which is like a really I mean he made a place for like ambient music and rock music, and like all of his records are great, and this was like his glam pop period, but like he nails everything he tries, and he did it for like 30 years. He's like the most slept on but like more influential than like almost like I don't know. Any rock band.
Yeah, you're right, because he's like a music. If you know about music business or the behind the scenes, you're like Brian Eno. Everybody knows Brian Eno.
But like from a business standpoint, from a production, but as an artist, like he's incredible.
He's awesome.
You want to hear a Brian Eno piece that I think everybody knows? Brian Eno did this.
Yeah, he did the Windows 98 thing. Yeah, he did.
Good money there.
Yeah. Shit like that.
That's like how pervasive. I love that. Like how pervasive his influence on music is.
Talking Heads.
I mean, U2. I mean, all that shit.
Yeah.
But he could walk down the street and people would not know who the fuck he is. I love that.
I could not pick Brian Eno out of a lineup, and he's one of my favorite producers. I have no clue what he looks like.
Oh man, his records from that one to Wrong Way Up are all like damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love Brian Eno. So that's my theory.
He produced a record with David Byrne several years ago.
My Life in the Bush of Ghosts.
Well,
that's in the 80s.
That was in the 80s. I mean, within the last probably 10 years or so, called Everything That Will Happen Today. And it is like one of the best David Byrne records, recent or old.
I can get behind it.
Is it the one that has like a drawing of a city from an aerial?
Yeah, it looks like The Sims.
That shit rules. I didn't know Brian Eno. I've just heard that record.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just a David Byrne record.
It's got everybody go check out the song Strange Overtones.
Awesome.
That's just as good as any Talking Head song.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got, Seth?
Okay. Well, this is all going to sound like incel fucking the top 3 incel murderer fucking. But we'll talk about it. I'll explain to you what I mean.
Number 3, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan has
Joe Rogan's first album, Partying with Joe.
Joe Rogan interviewing Brock Lesnar. Joe Rogan interviewing that Saudi
Dead Weight.
guy.
And he had a comedy album called Dead Weight. I'm just joking. Like horrible comedy names for Joe Rogan. What do you bench? Okay, anyways. Okay, so the Weezer Blue album. This is a go-to because They're a band that literally the dude was like a dork who liked heavy metal and all this stuff. And then his roommate, Matt Sharp, who was the original bass player in that band.
The Rentals.
Yeah, showed him the Pixies, and he was like, oh, maybe I could write songs in this style. And then he just accidentally shit out the best record of the 90s, like alternative rock.
Yeah.
I like that that's also the Nirvana story, too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, at least with Nirvana, though,
Pixies.
but his like actual influence of the Beatles and stuff is all there.
Sure,
When Rivers Cuomo was more like, okay, you know what? Like, I have these like ideas and these thoughts, but like I don't really know how to do them like stylistically. And then he heard, oh, you can kind of half-ass it and be, be yourself. And then he was like, oh, I'll cut my hair and I'll do that. So he did that and it worked out. And then like he's the kind of guy who like creates like assignments for himself. So he's like, my second record will be this darker, weird, right? But as an artist, that was probably the right decision. But as like a popular musician, was probably the wrong decision.
Well,
because people hated that record, but I loved it when it came out. I mean,
Pinkerton,
and kind of what we were saying at the beginning too, where it's like and I know people revere Pinkerton, but if the Blue Album was the only thing that existed by them,
that's what I'm saying.
That would be so representative of their whole career.
Yes. It speaks for all of it. And then, but then it's funny because then like they come back and then he's just trying to chase hit songs until like now. And so he's made so many bad records and so many terrible songs. That
he's released 3 while we were talking.
Yeah, totally. And you have to separate. You have to separate that shit and go. Well,
he did put out like 4 last
year,
and no one. Took notice.
I will say they put out these like seasons records where they put out one for each season, and they're not like, I would not say they're like great and everyone should hear them or fucking anything. But
I mean,
if you listen to them, you'll be surprised that they don't totally suck because he has a plan, right? He had a concept and then he can work within that. This dude is like going to college for the rest of his fucking life. That's like his whole thing. So it's just like he fails a lot,
Well, he does fail. I will say occasionally he's not like, his records have been like consistently underwhelming since Pinkerton, but like there's always like a moment there on like White Album or whatever.
Yeah,
like we're like, that's not bad. Like,
It
just doesn't approach the level of Blue Album.
Yeah, I'll say the other problematic one for a moment. Okay, so the other one is Please Please Me by the fucking Beatles.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah.
But here's why, is because I hated early Beatles my whole childhood. My dad's a musician. I come from like, my dad's favorite band's The Who and stuff. So like psychedelic rock, concept-driven rock, blah, blah. So any song that's like, I love you, you're my girl shit, I'm like, I hate this crap. I don't want to hear this. I hate it, right?
Yeah.
Well, as I've gotten older, I realized, that's the building blocks of everything. I really fell in love with Roy Orbison. And so you start going like, oh, wait, these classic structures are beautiful. It's about how you use them, blah, blah. That record is like a classic, just regular old rock and roll record, like a Roy Orbison record. But it's like, they recorded in one day.
Yeah.
John was so sick that his voice is fucked. That's why on all those songs that he sings lead on, like Twist and Shout and stuff, his voice sounds like punk rock or something. It never sounded that way again.
Yeah.
And it was because he had a horrible sore throat and they couldn't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. So not only is it like the first statement by the biggest band in the world, it's also like specifically has its own character to please me, more so than with the Beatles or anything else, because they start branding it after that. At first, it's like, we're these guys who have been doing this in Germany. We have this style that we've played a lot of shows. We can do it quick. It's a very punk rock Beatles record, surprisingly.
Yeah, for sure.
It is sort of like that thing, too. Like, you want that sort of synthesis, whatever, outliers-y thing, where it's like you put in that much work and then captured in that moment like they did on Please Please Me.
Yeah, it's the ultimate first band record.
Yeah, it's the ultimate, like, putting forward a really strong foot forward like they did. I mean, it's not their best record, but it's understandably, like, grabbed and, like, what the imagination of an entire generation, and it really kind of did.
It's the energy thing.
It's the energy, It's like if they didn't have that, I mean, you could do the same songs, but with like half the energy. It's like the feel was right. Was why that shit worked.
Yeah, and there was sexual energy because in Hamburg it's a different world, and they were definitely playing for 3 hours and doing drugs.
Oh yeah,
doing
fucking women afterwards. So it's also like it was arresting when people heard it because it sounds pretty aggressive if you think about it. The structures of the songs, but like the way it's recorded, the way they're playing.
Not just playing 3 hours. Playing like 3 hours, they would do a matinee.
Yeah.
Which is why they were all doing all the uppers and shit. Because they had to play matinee shows for like teenagers so they could let them into the bar.
Yeah, totally.
And then take 2 hours off and then go right back and do it again. Now, I will say my appreciation for the early Beatles stuff, I always liked it, but when I really, really started appreciating it, I would say I started playing guitar when I was 18, which, if you got kids out there, fucking start them early because I'll never be great. But, I was learning. And my thought process was like, I should try to figure out some old Beatles songs, like the first ones, because I bet they're easy.
Yeah, totally.
And they are fucking not.
Yeah, they're not.
They are really hard.
Yeah.
They are really goddamn hard when you're first starting out. And even now, there's shit where like A Hard Day's Night, there's a whole video about them putting together just the opening chord of that song.
Totally, yeah.
And it's fucking two guitars doing two totally different things.
Their music actually got simpler. Well, easier to play as they got towards the end. I mean, Hey Jude is something you can teach someone how to learn. Yeah,
Day in the Life is easy as hell. Yeah. But yeah, compared to fucking like Ticket to Ride or some shit, which is very hard. Yeah,
totally. Well, also, there's a really great website that people should check out. That's like every Beatles mistake ever on a record, and it's like the band drags all the time on stuff because they can't fix this shit. You know, it's like those are the takes
because they're
like
human beings.
Yeah, so you hear Ringo dragging, and then the bass dragging with him for a second, and then they catch up, and it's like that would never happen on the biggest band in the world's record, right? But this is a time period where it's still primitive, so you're like, well, we're stuck with that shit. The feel is right, so screw it.
Yeah,
I think that's why people can't replicate that kind of stuff when they're like, oh, but I know all this music theory and all. It's like, yeah, but it needs to be rough around the edges in some form, or it's not going to seem human.
Oh yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
my favorite Ringo thing. This is later. She said. If you listen to the he is not doing anything the rest of the band is
totally
doing.
He's playing a whole other thing. Yeah, it's all fills and weird.
It works though.
For
but
sure.
You're right. Yeah. So anyway.
So obviously the first Beatles album is good, but I think the circumstance behind it makes it a pretty awesome record. Okay, the last one is, of course, I disagree with everything this guy is saying publicly currently. Obviously. So anyway,
let's all say it together.
Kanye West.
College dropout.
Here's the great thing about canceling the shit out of yourself, though. He did give himself a different name all of a sudden right before it happened. It was really great. So I can be like, I'm a huge Kanye West fan. I don't know about Ye.
Ye sucks.
I'm still figuring out if that's going to be a permanent thing or if that's just temporary. But because it may affect the music forever if that's the case.
Oh, I think it's pretty much locked in. The flavor has been locked in.
Yeah, but his actual personal life, yes. At this point, I have to avoid any interviews or let's just let the man just fade into social obscurity, and then he'll figure something out. Let's hope. I love the man's music. I love him as a rapper because he's a total asshole, and what is rap music but being braggadocious? And so he's the king of this shit, you know. So that record in particular, if we're talking about fully formed, even with all of his eras and all that,
right.
The blueprint for, I mean, a lot of rappers are on there, but it's specifically that kind of like genreless, aggressive, like vulnerable.
It's such a pop record too. Like,
it's hooks, like melodies. He's a big melody guy.
It is the uncomfortable conversation that you have to have, very similar to something like Cosby, where you're like, the influence is baked into the culture
totally
in a way that is inextricable, where you're like, God, this sucks, dude. Like stand-up comedy would not be what it is without that dude. And I wouldn't even say rap. Music right now,
as it currently exists,
is the child of this that sound.
Yeah, I know.
Of just, you're like you said, genreless.
Yeah.
Just, it's all just everything happening at
and
once.
Also stupid pop culture references. I mean, I'm about to go Bobby Boucher, and that's in a song called New Slaves that he's talking about Waterboy. This is why you love Kanye West. But then what you don't love
that was only a 15-year-old reference at that point.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That these really stupid, silly references that he thinks are funny.
Right.
Like he was, backpack rapper. He was the poster child for that because he was vulnerable, but he was still, aggressive. He still cursed. He still said filthy things. Like he does all the rap things, but it was presented, like Quincy Jones is a rapper now.
Right.
And so, that was, that's incredible. And to me, it's still Spaceship. Like there's like a million songs on that record that Last Call, the song that's all about his career, is like one of the greatest rap pieces ever fucking written, produced, his performance, everything. That one's undeniable. No matter what the fuck he's saying.
I had to pull all of his songs off my playlist.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't listened to any of it since he
because it shows up on the display in my car, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Trust me, everyone I know is like, did you see? What do you think? I'm like, same as you, dumbass. I just like his music. It's like I'm not like, you know what? I agree.
Not like you made this decision after you found out about what he said.
That is the most fucked though. Is on the internet sometimes and like Reddit. I'll see like on the Kanye forum, someone will be like, "Hey, I'm just starting to get into Kanye's music. What's the?" You're like, "What? What? Delete this person's profile. Kick them out ASAP."
There are Republicans all across this country pretending to know what Black Skinhead is about.
They'll never ever like that music after they pretend.
Oh, but they're pretending
way too aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, they're telling. Oh,
Yeah. But anyways, time marches on. Hulk Hogan.
Hey, yeah.
Great album. Great
It
album.
happens to all of us, guys. Yeah, time marches on by Hulk Hogan. Anyways,
What about you? Well, shit, he's got okay. Anyway, Hulk Hogan does have an album. It's fucking insane.
I'm sure he does.
Hulkster in Heaven. He's rapping.
Oh, that's great. I've heard that. That rules.
At a
Yeah,
dead
that
fan.
rules. It's a great debut album. That's a great debut.
Actually, that's my top three.
Not crazy. Gets
Bill
shit
Cosby.
out.
Why is there air?
Yeah.
2. Hulk Hogan in the green. In the
Macho Man 87 to be a man.
Yeah,
well,
what's
hey.
more culturally relevant, really?
Yeah.
Rapping Rodney.
Oh, rapping.
Rapid Rodney.
Hey, Rodney's.
Although
Rodney's
no
cool,
respect,
though.
no respect was the debut.
Was it?
That's
Okay.
true. What do you got, Sam?
I was also going to say Ready to Die. I like rap music, so it's so hard. The debut album thing, especially these days, hardly exists.
Right. Well, yeah. And he's dropping EPs,
mixtapes like crazy.
singles.
So you make like 6 mixtapes for even make an album.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's hard to determine that sort of thing. Because even like, you know, Biggie or Nas, they were
say
on-
Illmatic has made it.
They were on a couple songs before those came out, you know, and the songs they were on, they were so hyped up off of that.
That's true.
Like
Well, yeah.
Party and Bullshit, and then Live
That
at
shit
the
rules.
Barbecue. Nas's verse on that
Yep.
made people
On Main
be
Source,
like,
Yeah.
It made people just be like, "Oh my god, who the fuck are these guys?" So it's not like
Snoop Dogg.
It's not like they came out of nowhere.
Yeah, you
get an
intro.
necessarily.
Well, like I said, that was just my parameter. As
I have
mean,
to add one out. We're talking about this. We'll talk after.
I would say, I mean, you know, Doggy Style is a perfect example of what you're talking about, where it's like he was so much on the Chronic, but that in and of itself was essentially an advertisement for his first album that was also produced by Dr. Dre, where it's like,
But Straight Outta Compton is like your intro to all those guys.
that's true. Yeah.
Well, except Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, God.
That's I didn't even remember NWA.
NWA, yeah.
That's that's a very important
Absolutely.
album
For
to
sure,
the
dude.
history of
Yeah.
music.
Takes-
100%, yeah.
First
Take-
Run DMC.
Takes a
also.
Nation of Millions.
That is the it takes a nation of millions. I mean, I would say Straight Outta Compton's like the gangster rap album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was the first popular one.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So what? I'm curious.
I don't know because I was gonna say Nevermind, but they had an album Nirvana.
Bleach.
had
Oh yeah,
an
Bleach.
album.
See, that's another one like that. Yeah.
I was gonna say Illmatic, Ready to Die. Capital Steez has a good album. He kind of came out of nowhere from like the Joey Badass.
Oh, I
group.
love Joey Badass.
They all had some great debut albums, and I don't know. It's hard now because artists who come out nowadays release singles and stuff like that.
I would put in a mention.
Then there's
for-
mixtapes too. Like Kendrick Lamar put out a bunch of mixtapes
Yeah, I
first.
was gonna say him, but it's just like, what do you?
Yeah, Chance the
what do you
Rapper's-
call
Chance
this
the
kind of
Rapper?
shit?
Best
Yeah.
album is a mixtape.
Acid Rap.
Actually, well,
Yeah,
he
that's exactly
independently
what I said.
released so much shit. They're all technically mixtapes.
But that was hilarious because when he put out The Big Day, he was like, "This is my first real album," and everyone hated it. And you're
Yeah.
like, "Well, he did make 4 other real albums." It's not
right,
like everyone's
right.
like, "He really blew his debut." You're like,
It's like what you're acting like Coloring Book and Acid Rap.
Yeah,
don't
like he
exist.
already
Like,
made like 3 other records.
Yeah, I would throw in a mention for Supa Dupa Fly. Missy
oh
Elliott.
yeah, great album.
Like again, out of the gate, we're just like, this is a complete vision
For sure.
and it's
Yeah.
fucking. There's nothing else happening at this
I'm
point like this.
There's also ones that were like the debut album is great, like
Yeah.
a great album, but it just doesn't reach like the sophomore ones.
Oh, sure.
even better. Like
Yeah.
First Tribe album.
Bleach.
Yeah, first try album is not that good.
It's not as good
It's
as Low End
unfortunate,
Theory.
but it isn't. I mean,
Yeah.
they haven't really. Low End Theory is like, this is what our group sounds like.
Or
the
like-
first one's them figuring out what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
style's
Is
not
It
good.
Anything by My Bloody Valentine? It's great. It's
Yeah.
not as good as Loveless,
Well,
but it's
yeah.
great.
And the
First
other,
Built to Spill record.
the other
is-
out.
Yeah.
This one for that Outcast. Because
Yeah.
their
Yeah, yeah.
playlistic is incredible, and
yeah.
then everything just starts growing from that.
Right.
I do love that album.
That's, I mean, it's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
I am mad at myself because I am the
We're pissed
biggest.
too, Seth.
I'm the biggest fucking DMX fan, and you gotta understand that It's Dark and Hell is Hot like totally changed my life. So I don't know how I left that out of there, but I bought I bought the first DMX CD single before the album came
Yeah.
out.
Ooh.
So I had already been sold to me because he was on a LL Cool J song and he was on what was the other song? 24 Hours to Live. That's amazing.
that song rules.
And that verse is insane.
Yeah.
It's like, I will kill everybody. It's just like everyone else is like, I call my mom, tell her whatever. And he's like, 24 hours till my death. Nothing left. Murder. And he was like, oh, this is great. This guy murders people for real.
This guy's terrifying.
Yeah, this guy scares the shit out of me.
No, that is his appeal.
Oh, and dude, I mean, he is the greatest. I mean, he blew my fucking mind to pieces when I was like 14. But so that record, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, I think is the only real complete DMX album that's perfect top to bottom.
Yeah.
Every song's awesome. It's full of ideas. He's insane all over it. Like different, there's a song where he raps with a devil version of himself named Damien. They speed up his voice. Like, yo, dog, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Marilyn Manson sings the hook. Yeah.
No, that's on the second record. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
It starts getting wobbly, but the first one, he just came out like, oh, I've got all these fucking ideas. Boom, boom, boom. Open the door. ATF. That's the greatest song where it's like the ATF comes to arrest him. And he's like, it's so good. But it's just full of ideas. It's like his fucking Godfather or something. Like it's just full of little street stories and I don't know. Everyone knows he had a drug problem, so it very quickly became kind of the same shit over and over again. But
I wore that album out when he died. I listened to it fucking over and over.
I was
dude.
I think I was 13 or something when that came out.
Yeah,
just like white boy in the fucking suburbs. Like this is scary. I love this.
Dude, it was in Puff Daddy era, so it was like really surprising because he was on Puff Daddy shit. Yeah. Like he didn't dress like them. Like his shit was so scary. Like Get At Me Dog was the single that I bought.
That song rules.
And that video is black and white with a strobe light. And it's like he's like holding two pit bulls on stage while he's rapping. And you're like, this is fucking insane. Like it was like Mad Max or some shit, which I'm sure they were trying to do. But like, it's just really. But yeah, flabbergasted. I didn't think of that. That's the best shit ever.
Like what River said at the beginning. There's so many of these. It's so easy to just. We're all forgetting a great.
Of course we are.
Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah. Sure. Well, but it's all downward spiral. If you like, if you said what's the record most,
it's downward spiral. I mean, I love Pretty Hate Machine personally. I like it better than
I
downward spiral.
I like a lot of like first records, but until most bands figure it out in the second or third.
Ooh, I didn't even say. Yeah. And it's funny because I don't think he ever made another record that sounds like this, but it's incredible. Elvis Costello, My Aim Is True.
Yeah.
That's his first album?
Yeah, and that's
his first one. Yeah.
And you know what? It came out.
This Year's Model is my favorite, but
those are the only two that I really like responded to. I like him, but I don't know his.
Well, This Year's Model is like his punk album. And My Aim Is True is like shows more of the breadth of what he can do.
Yeah. Well, and that record came out, I think the same week Elvis died. Like Elvis Presley died.
How fuck's that?
Yeah. And on the front it says Elvis is king. A bunch of times and shit. Yeah, just weird.
They're like this nerdy math teacher motherfucker is king.
Yeah.
This other guy who corrupted my daughter.
Real name Declan McManus.
And that is a cool enough name.
I know. It would work now.
Declan McManus?
Yeah.
He's at Bonnaroo tonight. Happening tonight.
Bonnaroo happens every night.
It happens every night, dude. I'm from Tennessee, dude.
Well, shout out to the Stokes County Boys podcast at SC Boys Pod. Great question. This next one is from at Kevney, CEVNI, listening in the UK. Kevney wants to know top 3 dumbest crazes. And then in parentheses he says, like the hula hoop, but dumb instead.
He really likes the hula hoop. He believes in the hula hoop as a product.
No, Kev,
the hula hoop has held up over decades.
It's true.
No, I was going to say, Kev, the reason he says that, Kev is the host of the Film Guff podcast over there in England, and I did the episode about the Hudsucker proxy.
Oh, so fucking
it's a reference to the Hudsucker proxy.
The best.
Go listen to it, Film Guff.
For kids.
Yeah, for kids.
So good.
And Kev is also on the Patreon this week. We talked about the number 23 starring Jim Carrey.
Whoa,
so
that's got to be a piece of shit.
But yeah, top 3 crazes. The first thing that immediately came to mind, number 3, phone booth stuffing, which is a thing that you would see from the 60s when there was nothing to do. So college kids would just try to stuff as many people as they could into a phone booth.
What a beautiful time. We really fucked up.
I'll put some pictures of this up on our Twitter so people can see it at The Good Spot. It's fucking hilarious.
That's great. I love that.
This sounds like a TikTok thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was a TikTok thing, but for no credit.
It was just the way it used to be, baby. We were TikTok challenging ourselves.
Yeah, we're just wasting the fire department's time when they have to jaws of life us out of this phone booth.
Yeah, me and 8 dudes got stuck in this phone booth
by accident. Wink, wink.
Everyone just heard the phone ring.
We were phone booth stuffing.
Wait a second, is this phone booth stuffing?
There's 39 Supermans in here.
When were people doing that?
Amazing.
50s and
before
60s.
any of us were.
Well, I mean, it's probably all the way back from the beginning. beginning of the phone booth, I would think.
No, it was,
I was going to say, yeah, another craze that swept the nation, the Charleston.
no, it was
The
just
steam engine.
These newfangled telephones.
No, it was a thing that I just always saw flipping through old yearbooks and stuff like that. If if you go, like my mom's a estate sale broker, so I go into an old house and it's like, oh, a Glamarata from 1970.
That's awesome.
And then you always see like, oh, this phone booth. And then the next thing I think was streaking.
Incredible.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's still
That was a
good.
great
That's
craze,
hold
yeah.
up.
That's still funny.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Streaking in a phone booth.
But then you just stop in the middle of the street and scream at cars.
yeah.
That's also popular around here.
Yeah, there's a lot of streaking going on in this neighborhood.
Number 2, and I hadn't thought about this shit in years, but this was right after Gigapets, but right before Yo-Yos. There was GIMP. Does anyone remember this?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the
Yeah, I've seen Pulp
that's the
Fiction.
thing that sucks. It's really hard to Google GIMP, but what it
You're
is,
damn right it is. You keep stopping to jerk off.
A lot of time. A lot of time.
Damn it, I keep trying to get these results.
no, but this was the thing that was happening, at least in my school, where people would bring in these plastic lanyards and like this very, like it was like plastic string. It was flat, and then people would weave it together into like keychains and lanyards and necklaces and shit like that. And
I remember this.
there were like distinct like patterns, like snakeskin, that was like one kind, and then it was like, oh, this person's really good at the square, and they had diagonal.
That's hilarious.
all this shit. But all of that stuff just went into the ocean.
Yeah.
Because it was a fad that was there for like 6 months. And also it taught me something psychologically very important, which was I got into it and then my mom got into it and then I was done with it.
And you're like, this can't be cool.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what killed it.
Yeah.
It's because people's moms were like, oh, this is fun. I'm making keychains for all my friends.
I was the same way with mescaline. Like I did it, then my mom got into it, and I was like, this isn't cool anymore. This isn't cool anymore.
Yep.
And my number 1, and I was thinking about this because I recently rewatched the film Richard Jewell, The Macarena. Which in the context of Richard Jewell is presented exactly like that movie.
It's in the movie?
Yeah, because it's 1996 in
Clint
Atlanta.
Eastwood directed a scene that has to do with the Macarena.
Yeah, he directed a crowd doing the Macarena.
And he knew what it was and what was that?
Man,
Oh, yeah.
oh dude, that is his best movie since Unforgiven. I will.
It
die
is
on
good.
that
I think
fucking
he's
hill.
I think he's an awesome, crazy, insane director. He's out of his mind.
Well,
he does like one take for everybody, no matter how famous you are, and he's like, nope, and they just move on because he's nuts.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck. He doesn't care.
Yeah, but
that's worse.
He has a scene in that movie where it's just an entire crowd doing the Macarena, and so much of that film like hits the mid 90s in the South so perfectly on the head, the way it exists in my brain.
Yeah,
and that in particular was just like, it's almost horrifying.
That's awesome.
And to show like, it would be fun to, I think I said this on the show one time, but it would be fun to be in the same room where everybody in their mid 30s and up knows what to do when that song starts playing, and then someone in their teens has no clue what the fuck is happening.
I mean, living through the Macarena craze, I remember when they were like passing it off as exercise. Like, you remember when they were doing it like in gym classes? Like they would have.
Oh yeah,
Jazzercise aerobic.
Yeah, they were passing off the Macarena as exercise.
touching your fucking shoulders.
I gotta say,
I had to do the wiggle part.
we live very close to a park that features many children's birthday parties.
That's true.
I heard the Macarena a couple months ago.
Whoa.
And,
Wow.
and when I heard it, it's been so long that I wasn't like, this fucking song. I heard it and I was like, I could see why this became a huge hit. You know, it's one of those.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs. You know.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You're like, oh, I get why this touched the people.
Yeah.
Why this touched all the people?
But yeah, that's my top 3. Sam, what you got?
Motherfucking Pog.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah,
dude.
What the fuck?
I bought
Dude,
it.
Yeah, we all did.
I
loved Pogs.
I don't think
loved
I ever
them.
understood the rules. of the
No,
fucking
dude, I
game,
looked.
right?
I looked it up today because I was like, no one even knew. It was just
Well,
like,
it's like you need a slammer.
Yeah.
One of them's a slammer that you throw out the other ones.
You stack them up, and then you
take
use
them.
the slammer to try to hit the top of it.
So
and
it's
knock
like-
them off. And
it's
then
like marbles, kind of.
like jacks. Or
It doesn't
something.
make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole deal is just like you get these squares or the circles of cardboard, and then they have a cool image on them, and you and your friends go, "Look at this one! I got the Batman one."
Totally. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I fucking love Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to slam it. And you get it, your friend's like, I fucking hate you, right?
Yeah.
You don't just take your friend's shit to keep playing games, right?
And then that was part of Pogs. Is it was like gambling. You could lose all your fucking
That's
Pogs.
fucked up. That's America for you right there.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Teaches you the value of fiat currency.
Yeah, that's what we should have Pogs now.
And then I don't know. You kind of mentioned it earlier. Gigapet/Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my
Remember those,
God, like a LCD piece of shit. Fucking 3 buttons on a controller.
Yep.
Looks like shit. You can barely tell what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
Only fun if you've never played video games before.
Yeah.
Totally. The bar is so low that you're
I
like,
was
this is
shocked to find out Gigapets, Tamagotchi, and Digimon all the same company.
Motherfucker.
It's the exact same people.
Motherfuckers.
It all leads to the CIA. The CIA put them out.
It's the Scientology.
Yeah,
That's right.
Hulk Hogan was playing with too many Gigapets.
That's right. I believe he had one.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, fucking what else? Beanie Babies.
There we go.
There's
Yeah.
just so many
It's like-
stupid ones. Or like Funko Pop fucking
Oh, that's
shit.
a current one.
It's like the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was gonna say. What's a current one?
Funko.
I was gonna say I think all of mine are current ones.
Oh, really?
But the Beanie Babies thing and the Digimon thing, like they eventually became like party favors. Like they went from
Right.
like prized like thing to buy. They're selling out of stores
Collectibles.
to just like can't give them away at birthday parties.
Oh, yeah.
Like gets
Totally.
left at the skate rink. level.
What do you got, Carter?
Current one that I hate. Mukbanging.
What is that?
Mukbanging is this
sounds
TikTok
sexual.
thing where fucking people eat food wordlessly, and it's just like them going
A lot of it, too.
and like a disgusting amount of food, and there's like,
Well, yeah, usually it involves taking multiple fast food items and smashing them together into
and
one
like
sandwich.
lustfully looking and be like, oh man, and then I mean, it's like I overhear it. It is the least appetizing thing in the world. It is. I hate it. I hate it so much.
There's a whole saga with one mukbanger named Nikocado Avocado who started off as a vegan YouTuber.
Right.
And he was, I think, 150 pounds when he started, and now he's like over 400 pounds.
It's disgusting. It's. I mean, like.
And he is still doing it.
Never seen Joey's World Tour.
Oh,
Joey's
yeah,
super
sure.
cool food
Dude.
reviews.
Oh, you got a Christmas greeting,
Yeah.
a family Christmas greeting from him.
Yes, I did.
It is like it's
Your
like
whole
let's,
family?
And then my brother thinks cameos are really funny.
Oh, okay, cool.
So one Christmas he just got one from that guy, and I don't think anyone knew who he was other than me. And my brother.
He's a mukbanger.
He's mukbang.
Don't worry, Mom. He's a mukbanger.
It's fine. Yeah, no, that one. God, there's a video.
I got a Shaggy 2 Dope one recently.
a Shaggy 2 Dope
Mukbang?
mukbanging guy.
No, cameo.
Cameo? What did he say? I bet he was really inspirational and kind.
Well, he's kind of like, well, isn't he like the teller one where he's not supposed to talk? Like Pin's the talker, teller's the.
I've realized from watching ICP interviews that Violent J never shuts the fuck up.
Right.
Yeah, he's
interview.
like the
In a-
galaxy brain
In
of
an
ICP.
interview, if Shaggy tries to say anything, Violent J interrupts him immediately. So I think Shaggy is kind of just, when he's in an interview, he just kind of sits in the back.
Violent J is the Kevin Smith of horrorcore. I've always said that.
Yeah, he is.
Violent
Got out
J.
of rehab. Good for you, Jay.
Hey, he's not so violent anymore. Courteous
God.
Jay.
What else you got, Carter?
Bucket hats.
They're coming back, folks.
Is that a craze,
bad.
or is that just a bald man's burden?
I don't know. It's like
No, that is interesting because it's two crazes that I've lived through both of them now.
yeah, I've lived through the initial and the resurgence.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just like I don't know. It seems like you're just wearing a pocket on your head, but
Sometimes literally they do have
put your hand
pockets
in a
and the
big old
jean
pocket.
ones. Yeah.
but I mean,
Gilligan hat.
all these are like
Bucket ass, Gilligan ass.
getting mad about these are like so like whatever. Like who cares? Let people just do their thing.
Yeah. It's a craze, so they know they're
It's a
fucking
craze.
crazy. they know they're all
They
fucking
deserve
crazy.
to be put 6 feet underground. That's
Yeah,
what
they
I
should.
fucking
Everyone should be.
so
Everyone should
fucking
be.
crazed.
Everyone should be beheaded for doing this.
Yeah.
The ice bucket challenge.
Oh,
Everyone should be.
sure.
Great one.
Didn't
Yeah.
someone get some money for that though? The people that needed it or something?
Yeah, it's an ALS thing.
Oh, you're
but you
an
know what?
asshole.
It's like the same thing though. Is it?
Oh, so you're an asshole.
Oh, so you're an asshole now.
Oh, okay.
I hate the Susan B. Komen.
I do.
breast cancer.
I do.
I fucking hate that
Crazes,
shit.
feminism.
I'm just like, where does it go? Where does the money go? It goes to the top, and it goes to the CIA. It goes to Scientology.
Crazes, charities.
No, ice bucket challenge was.
It's cringy.
It's cringy, and it's like people being like, "I'm going to take time out of my weekend for a thing
Be cold.
to
for
be
5
cold."
minutes.
Yeah, it was.
In the summer, by the way, is when that happens.
Yeah,
It was
I find-
fully in the summer.
Internet crazes are by far the cringiest.
Yeah, I mean, the cringe spreads faster faster.
It spreads faster, and then watching someone do like a half-assed version of it is really embarrassing. And
But what's interesting is it does spread faster, but it sticks around longer as a thing that old people are like mad about. Like there are, like right now, there is someone typing the sentence like, "Well, at least my generation isn't eating Tide Pods," and you're like, "That was 7 years ago."
that was 7 years ago.
And no one was actually doing it. Like,
Right, that was the whole thing. No one was
It looked
actually
like
eating them.
fucking gummy bears. What do you expect?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to lick them every time I touch one.
Yeah,
I don't do it.
hey, you have good self-control.
That's a craze. That's a craze. I would never participate in a
I'll tell you what
fucking race.
the real one is energy drinks. That's the that's the fucking
fuck
The
outta
show
here.
built on a craze.
that was the it's a craze.
Let me say this: that's not a craze, brother. That's a way of life.
He's just sipping another
I don't
stack
thi-
or two. You're like, where did that
It's
come
never going away at this
No,
point.
it's
never going away.
from? Let me ask, was
It's
energy
here.
drinks always a part of the show from the beginning?
No.
No, it just happened.
It has
during,
wormed its way in.
And then
happened-
you just never stop.
happened during COVID. Yeah, it's like,
Oh, really?
There's just a couple random things.
Because why
that
not be
happened
wide
during
awake and
COVID.
experience horror?
There's this one time I
love
asked
it.
Rivers for a review of an energy drink I bought him.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, we should do this as a recurring bit.
Well, no, it
and the
was
same
literally-
thing with the YouTube comments.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you go back and listen to the first YouTube thing we did,
Like-
Rivers goes, okay, this is a bit we're doing from now on.
I love
and
it.
It's happened.
He was the architect of all this. Nobody knows.
I was the first one who brought Lil White Oxycontin.
that's it. Yeah, that was the first one.
And they had some good comments on
Yeah,
that.
that really changed the whole thing. Yeah,
It changed the game.
the whole
So-
program.
I was gonna say-
That flipped the game up. Yeah.
I think just someone being like, "I'm going to rehab in 20 minutes." That set the template. Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I figured
get
I'd listen to
mad.
this one last time. What you got, Seth?
You know, I have two things, and then one of them is kind of like, we'll just discuss it. First thing is, what would Jesus do bracelets?
Yeah.
And that was, I was young enough to where I felt pressured that I should have one. And I was like,
Did you?
but I didn't believe
I did.
in, I
Yeah.
didn't grow up in a religious background.
Same thing.
So
with me.
I was just kind of like, no, I guess it's not for me, but everyone seems very empowered. And I feel like I'm missing out.
Live Strong bracelets
Live
became
Strong.
a big thing in my school.
What are those?
with the Lance
Lance
Armstrong,
Armstrong.
the yellow.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Of
And
course,
they
yeah.
also became
That
about
liar.
Christianity.
Yeah, is that fucked? But you see, that's the thing about fucking human beings. They're so fucking dumb. And all you need is someone to inspire you, and they're like, oh, that guy was actually just a rabbit in a human suit. So that's not real. And you're like, but I built this whole house on the back of that concept. And you're like, yes, you're a monkey with an evolved brain. Welcome to the rest of humanity. Okay. Bootleg Bart Simpson shirts. Now, I don't feel like that was a
Ooh.
craze.
Oh, no, it
because
was.
it's still happening for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
another
it's
one of
still
those.
happening.
We've lived through both now.
Yeah,
But
it's
isn't it
just
weird when
cartoon characters in general? You can be
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny smoking a blunt.
That's true.
With a fucking 45 pistol,
That's
wearing
true.
a tuxedo.
But you got to get universal enough to where they'll take your
Yeah.
art like that and be like, look, Bugs Bunny's everyone's now.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not they're going to take Bobby's World and
Come
have him
at
smoking
me.
a joint. It doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
you know? Like, but this is still happening. Like, they're just printing up Bart Simpson shirts where he's like, eat my pussy, dumbass. I'm sure there's probably a shirt that says that somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
If
That
not-
was a big dog shirt.
yeah. They ran out of concepts. They're like, eat my pussy, dumbass. Like, it sounds aggressive. Anyway, so I maybe just Bart Simpson shirts in general because I remember going to school and like you really couldn't wear like Don't Have a Cowman. Like you got in trouble for that where I went
yeah.
to school in
Yeah,
Tennessee. Like so you would wear a Bart shirt
so
and get in
funny.
trouble for it. All the kids would try to wear them and always get in trouble.
Because he's disrespectful.
yeah, exactly. Because he's
It's
like
so funny.
cowabunga.
So
the
back
face.
then, it's so funny that
I
parents
know.
are like shocked. They're like, and they like a cartoon character where a boy is rude to his
Yeah,
parents.
because it was a cartoon character. Like they're supposed to be nice, like Charlie Brown. Yeah, that's insane.
And yeah, I mean, dude, it's same goes for South Park
Yeah,
shirts.
yeah. Of
People got
course,
sent
yeah.
home from 6th grade for wearing just the one that said beefcake.
Just
Yeah, wearing one that says
Totally.
"Respect my authority."
Oh yeah,
Totally,
yeah,
totally,
yeah.
yeah.
People come in with fucking masking tape all over their shirts and shit with their Cartman shirts.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, or making you turn your shirt inside out. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
dumbest. That happened to me with a taxi driver T-shirt because it was like Robert De Niro with 2 guns, which you know. I suppose I understand. Before school shooting, we're just enjoying the counterculture.
Oh yeah,
It's so true. That changed so much.
You're like, we're just
I have a-
enjoying
Yeah.
the craziness of it all. That's
I have a
all.
quick story about that. So
Yeah, yeah.
I went to high school one time. One time.
I went to
The
high
rest of
school
the time I was
one time.
fucking
I was
dipping.
36.
and then I fucking
I went to a high school, not mine.
I had a gun.
I popped
Wait, what?
I popped a wheelie on the way out of my parking lot.
So I was in high school and I had a Buzzcock Singles
this is a great
Singles
story.
Going Steady shirt on, and it's just that album cover of Singles Going Steady by Buzzcocks. It's just them in a rehearsal space. And my teacher, home ec teacher, was like, "I don't know if you." She had this weird voice. She's like, "I don't know if you should be wearing that." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Cause you know why." And I was like, well, my name is Glasscock. Like, would it be better if I fucking put my head on each member of the band and then just put Glass over Buzz? And she was like, we're not going to have this conversation again.
And you're like, cock.
Yeah, I could say cock. It's in my name. Cock. Yeah. Slap the 3 cocks on my face. Cock.
Don't shave my cock. That's fantastic.
man.
But crazes wise, I can't. I'm trying to think of other things. And like, I graduated.
Would you like
high school
examples?
in 2000? So what was a craze in 1999?
Red New York Yankees hats.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Fred Durst hat. Red Fred Durst cap.
style.
And that plays into what I was going to say, which is professional wrestling was a craze in
the 80s.
In 1999.
And 99, yeah.
Hell yeah. Right along with South Park and New Metal.
Any of that shit can go fuck itself.
Yeah.
I don't know. Furby was fun. You could try to teach it to cuss and then get it taken away.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Fuck you. The first AI.
Well, shout out to at Kevney for that question. And if you have a list you would like us to populate, please tweet us at The Goods Pod.
My debut album. My debut album. My debut album. Bum, 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 bum. What will you play in the show tonight? I'll play songs from my debut album. What do you have on sale tonight? I've got copies of my debut album. A copy of my debut album.
Fellas, are you ready for our final segment?
Woo!
Yeah!
Yes, me. Oh,
This week, this is our jam of the week.
I like that every rap song in a certain pair was like, what do we need? Oh, maybe a little. Like, shit, that's it.
Just some little weird.
There's a bit of contention about this. The band members have cleared this up definitively and said that is the sound of a guitar that's been pitched up. But there's a lot of people that believe that is the sound of a horse neighing. That's what they sampled was the neigh of a horse from like a 50s movie. The guy who produced it came out and was like, no, I pitched up a guitar. But anyway,
was it Muggs?
Yeah, I believe so.
Muggs, DJ Muggs.
DJ Muggs.
DJ Muggs.
But yes, of course, this is our jam of the week. This is Cypress Hill's Insane in the Brain from the 1993 album Black Sunday.
Damn.
And this song has 183 million views and 29,115 comments. So it's doing a lot of work this morning, boys.
Yeah.
And
this hits definitely the lowbrow and the highbrow. So you know there's total psychos who are like,
oh yeah, this album's on some greatest albums of all time list, but every one of these comments is like, I hate my dad. I spilled bong water on my sister's head. Yeah.
All day. No one can tell me it's wrong.
Oh, well, we'll see. Maybe there's some
at
normal.
the mental hospital used to say I was insane in the brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe there's some normal stuff. We'll see.
So this is like the age range of ex-con for this one is like, like around our age.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is right.
Well, let us get down into these YouTube comments. First up, Drunken Squirrel from 2 years ago. I'm a 52-year-old accountant and blasting this mighty, mighty tune on 11.
Mighty, mighty tune.
Insane. And
mighty boss tune.
And I'll be blasting it 24/7 during tax season.
Wow.
Hell
Because
yeah.
it's hard to pay. It's like insane time.
I think it's crazy.
Because he's an accountant.
It makes your brain feel insane when you think of all the write-offs.
You go to the accountant and you just blaring this song. And he's like, no, it helps me. It helps me.
Over and over.
And he's just got an Addy machine and manically hitting the buttons. And you're like, I don't. I'd like my papers back. I'd like my official government papers back, please.
Every time he considers a write-off, he's like, woo! And it's like it coincides with that noise.
You know that's a horse, right? It's really a horse.
It's really a horse. His voicemail is, leave a message at the beat.
K Winsock from 10 months ago.
Fucking A.
I'm in my 60s, and I just put this on.
I was way off on the
I
age.
love that everybody in their late 50s or early 60s like, I get this
They
song.
state
I guess so,
It's still for
because this
me.
was 30 years ago,
Yeah.
so they were in their 30s.
Oh, yeah.
60?
I'm in my 60s, and I just put this on in the early morn on my quote-unquote cans to get me in the mood for another crazy day in Europe.
Fuck yeah.
Just Europe.
If you're 60 years old, dude, you better get
There's no better way to greet Finland than with Cypress Hill's Insane in the Brain.
I mean, on your cans.
Also,
yeah,
yeah.
using your cans, of course.
Calling the fucking headphones cans. Like,
I
it's
know.
the fucking
You are
40s.
60 years old. Yes, you are.
It might be a retired radio DJ. That is the parlance of that.
Well, he's having a good
it's-
time in Europe, and that's all that matters.
It's
He's having a great time. and a
another
good
crazy
soundtrack.
day in the city of Europe.
Another, yeah, in the city
In the
of
city
Europe.
of Europe.
Yeah, if this is America, the city, what's Europe, the city?
Paris.
Man, he knew it already.
Big
Goddamn,
words.
sounds
Yeah.
like a traitor right here. You see how quick he said Paris, y'all? There you go. Shit, didn't even enter my brain.
LH from 2 years ago. My dad said that when he was a Latin king, he did a drive-bys with this song, and it got crazy.
Oh my God!
I bet it did.
Like, why did those guys shoot us? They were insane. They were singing a song about it.
Hyped up off a Cypress Hill song.
I was gonna say, what?
Two guys lying on the end of the street, like, this is getting kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I want to see the drive-by that didn't get crazy. Just a bunch of people getting shot at. Like, wow, that's fucking weird.
The one where it didn't get crazy is where they shot up an empty house.
Right.
I feel like you could clean up the house to this. I don't know if this is drive-by. Because it's just like, I'm going to put away the boxes in the closet. You just
Back
run around your house.
then, the standards for what a gangster rap song is have changed so much.
Yeah, exactly. This sounds like Disney characters, like about to tell you their plan for stealing the princess or some shit. This is not like rap music.
Jazz Philly from 11 months ago. Ha ha ha. My dad didn't want me to listen to Cypress Hill because he was afraid of me growing up to be a pothead.
Guess what?
Then I outsmoked him and he gave me a Cypress CD. Classified as a win.
Damn, I wish I had the kind of relationship with my dad where if I smoked him under the table, he gave me a CD.
You see your father fall behind the table and then just a Cypress Hill CD just raises
Like,
up.
I'm going to go find out how to play this motherfucker. See you, Dad.
The thing about weed culture I hate is this. I outsmoked
My
him.
God.
What the fuck
I know.
are
You
you
fell
talking
asleep.
about?
You ate too many chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
How'd you outsmoke someone? What happened? You farted in public?
We're gonna go toke for toke, bro.
What coked out did you get, dude?
This is about to be not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Aw, E. Annie from 2 years ago. My Peru.
Is it like a lot of A's?
It's AHHWE-ANY.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. It's like an
Aw,
Avatar
Annie.
character. I think that's the name of the Navi. Navi.
Mundavi.
That movie
Robert
sucks. I saw that
Mundavi.
movie and I fucking hate it so much. We'll talk about it another time.
Oh, I love it.
So boring.
My Peruvian guinea pig says he wants this song played every time he walks in a room. Wait, what's that, Axel? Oh, he said that when you cross him, rather, he wants this played. I'm going to make my guinea pig popcorn to Sugar Hill Gang. It's probably why he hates my guts. Note to self, must find him a mate. I don't think he's amused by my antics.
Good God. That
You
was
have
the
no
weirdest
friends. You have
combination
zero
of
friends.
things going on.
Go talk to someone.
Peruvian,
Touch
what?
grass.
Guinea
as the
pig.
kids
Guinea
say.
pig.
Yeah,
Guinea
touch
pig.
grass.
Sure. Touch grass, kick rocks.
Michael Shane Reynolds from 4 years ago.
Michael Shannon Reynolds.
You want to hear something cool?
Big fan.
My church I go to is on Cypress Street.
Damn.
If it
We
fits,
smoke more than anyone.
if it fits, I sit. Cypress Hill, my church, crazy.
He's looking at his phone. Cypress Hill looks at his church.
Now-
My church.
Michael
Crazy.
Michael Che Shannon Reynolds
Michael J. Shannon Reynolds.
he was listening to the podcast where he's like, surely they're not going to get that
Surely,
one.
yeah. I feel like they're
What about
playing
my church? I was just kind of throwing my 2 cents in. He's not going to find that one.
my church. Crazy.
Oh man, it would be great if one day somebody we were reading about heard this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And just heard me go, "You have no friends."
Man, touch grass, idiot.
Sharpening their bullets. I'm gonna kill this fucker a bunch of ways.
It's a good thing we live in Arkansas.
That's right. We're in fucking America, the city. You can't do shit.
This is the section I call bars. These people think they can rap. Let's
I love
see.
it.
Christopher Savig from 5 years ago. I can't wait for
You
the
have to
beat.
rap it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
you got to do it to the beat. Yeah.
I'm crazy as fuck. Fuck with me, good luck. And when I have a Tootsie Pop, you suck. And when I write, no beginner's luck, because I predict hot on the scene with a drinking Jim Beam And when I see the truth, I put shades on for my label. True, you on a label? Here's where it falls apart. You a fable. I thought your demos, Cain and Abel. Nah, Holmes, OT done with me. I'm not a Christian, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Hey, maybe it'll come around later on.
If we can witness my Bane rise, I face Batman, his demise.
Wow. That's a poem I wrote when I was 12. I'm pretty sure. That's a poem I wrote.
My Bane rise.
This is definitely written by a black person.
I know.
My privilege is strong and my is rhythmic. Step to the mic if you want to get dick licked.
Thank you. You want to get dick licked?
Thank you.
Right, come to my house if you want to get dick licked. Knock 3 times if you want to get dick licked.
No rappers insulted someone by saying, get a dick licked.
You can catch me on the streets with my Fitbit. Come up to my house, knock 3 times, get your dick licked.
Shave and a haircut, get your dick licked.
I got a couple more here. Marcy Hasty from 6 years ago. I can't think of anything crazy. Everything I know is so sane. Everything in my world makes so much sense. And there are no loser, low-life pieces of shit anywhere. No one is stooping lower than a parasite or a worm anywhere that I know of. Sanity is not really that large of a goal, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's
dude.
right. It's true.
I feel like you might have a bit of an issue going on here.
I don't want to.
This lady sounds like she's gonna screw loose.
Yeah. Oh, listening to this song, she was like, "I'm
Wow,
gonna
you know,
say something about my madness."
I think she brings up some valid points, man.
It's like they saw the word insane and just started typing. It's like they didn't listen to anything. They just went, insane, right on.
So many people just arbitrarily write stuff with the hopes of getting on this podcast.
Yeah. Insane.
They do.
It is funny that people are just typing in insane and being like, what kind of music will come up? This is how I'm feeling right
insane.
now.
Let's see.
Recrap 1 from 11 months ago.
Recrap.
He says,
That's what I call reboots. Recaps. All they make is these Marvel movies and recraps.
Scorsese over here.
What about the mid-budget?
This searing hot take from this 75-year-old film critic. More like recrap.
More like recrap it.
he says, Big Jin, this is the guy, Little Jim. He is who all us foreign students pick, too. I tried to establish my dominance with Little Jim. One day we went to the ULM stadium. I was kicking 80-yard field goals off my shoe, and I swear Little Jim would catch my kicks and would throw it back to me over 80 yards. I was stunned, and Little Jim thought nothing about it. The football team stopped practice, too, to watch me and Little Jim play catch after school.
That shit's insane in the membrane.
And that's just all the.
No, there's more. No, they couldn't leave this one alone.
The payoff.
Oh, the Little Jim is like Paul Bunyan in this fucking story. Little Jim learned to play chess 2 months before we met.
How many likes is this one?
I have played chess every day of my life with my doctor dad. Little Jim drank 9 zombies, 12-pack of beer, and smoked an ounce of weed right in front of me and was beating me at chess.
Little Jim was an 85-year-old dwarf.
Mr. Jennifer.
It was like, that guy wasn't a little Jim. This is my grandfather.
Mrs. Jennifer Lewis, I don't get beaten often, and I don't mention them, but ma'am, your little Jimmy, I was so impressed with your little Jim. I am writing to you 20 years later. To Little Miss Jim, Real Miss J.I. Lewis, I am FK, the world's Filipino stick fighting champion. Your ex-husband, Little Jim, was my best friend in college. Thank you for letting Little Jim hang out. We had so much fun. Even Khan of Turkey liked Little Jimmy, and we went out drinking with us. Little Jim had no clue who anybody was, and he behaved perfectly for you, Miss Little Jim. So this is the thing I've never seen.
Me neither.
This is somebody's friend appealing to his friend's ex-wife to take him back. That's unprecedented.
Oh, is that what was going on?
I think that's what's going on.
I like that he said he was my friend in college after about like 3 paragraphs. I'm like, so this guy is who to you? Oh, it's weird you said that at the very end. Seemed like a reveal, like the Sixth Sense. It's like he was dead all along. He was my college friend.
Kicking 80-yard field goals off the foot. That's off the foot, dude.
That's my favorite part. 80 yards.
80 yards.
Even a professional kicker.
That's right. 80 yards off my shoe.
That shit is off the foot,
Yeah, dude. He had a special shoe. He had a special foot.
He did it from the locker room. He's fucking putting up 3.
Little Jim was right there smoking an ounce of weed.
Now, please take him back into your life.
He was eating a cat.
He can do an incredible amount of drugs and still play a board game.
He can play chess. He can kick field goals.
I love it. It's like a prison scene, and they're like playing chess with like nerd dudes.
Is that guy's like talking? This guy's talking about Little Jim as they about to like flip the switch and then just like electrocute him to death.
Jim.
That was Little Jim. Oh!
The legend.
And finally, Vanessa Garabiles from 3 years ago. I will never leave you. You are my loco, and I am your loca. Better never
Toxic.
leave me, loco. I think we belong together because you're crazy and I'm crazy. It'll work out just fine. I'm crazy about you, Cypress Hill. Luis Mario Freese, which is Be Real's real name.
Oh, whoa. So it's a love letter.
This is a love letter to Be Real. I think I'm going crazy, loco. Please let me be your pretty wife. I think about you every day, 24/7. Good night, baby. You are always on my mind. I hope everything goes your way today, tomorrow, the next day. Please let me ride your big fat cock. That's all.
That's how you should do. Leave with compliments and well wishes, and then talk about your cock.
That's all I'm.
Yeah. That's always the way to go.
That's all I'm thinking about.
That always works out.
That's all I'm thinking about. So
Cool. He was like, I don't know. This bitch is nuts. Wait, what? My cock? Be real.
there's more. There's more.
It doesn't need to be.
Oh, oh, it does. Believe
Message
me.
was delivered.
That's all I'm thinking about. So please bang my pussy. Please bang my virgin ass.
Ow.
Please finger bang me and get me off and fuck good.
I hope you have a great day. Also, fuck me 10 ways.
Please bang my pretty pussy with your fat cock. I want to bury your bone in my pussy. I want some S&M.
This is AI.
I want to be tied down to your bed, whips, chains, and handcuffs. Thank you for being real. Thank you for being real about it. Please write me back, loco. I believe in you.
About it.
I know.
Back logo.
I know that I'm talking to my baby,
I was gonna say,
Cypress Hill.
Wow.
Be Real's like going through these comments,
He's like,
just
why
like
not?
Rivers was with just like a single trickle of sweat. Oh my god!
That is insane in the brain.
I would, God,
Cypress Hill.
if someone out there could put together a mashup of Rivers saying the "beat my pussy up" thing,
Yeah.
then we could have it
And
and
that
play
other
it
dude's
in
rap
a
verse.
very straight ahead voice. That would be very great for us to just have on hand.
You can find the instrumental version of this song. So.
Yeah.
That is our program. Seth Pomeroy, where can people find you?
Oh,
online?
you know. Just the regular outlets. Twitter, Instagram, it's my name, Seth Pomeroy, Pomeroi. I'm also on Letterboxd talking about movies. And my name there is Seth Pom. Looks like Seth Porn. It's not.
Carter, where can people find you online?
At Carter_Glasscock on Twitter and Instagram.
Sam, where can people find you?
Slam Harder, TikTok, Twitter, Sam Harder 666 Instagram. And we need to get some more people going to YouTube to watch Carter's video.
Oh, I was just
and we need more
about
people to comment. We got a lot of people who apparently never heard of Carter before.
Yeah.
They want to see more of it.
I was actually going to throw that in. So
breaking development. So it's actually now on Amazon Prime. You can watch Laugh After Dark live in Las Vegas, and my stand-up set is on that show, so you can check it out now on Amazon Prime. And it's also still on YouTube too. But
That's perfect.
Check it out on Amazon Prime now. I'm an Amazon Prime boy.
Hell yeah. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. And you can find the show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Every episode ever, youtube.com/TheGoodsPod. And here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I want you guys to do. I'm going to send you a free sticker. All you got to do, subscribe to us on YouTube, and then go watch Carter's thing and give him a thumbs up and like a nice comment, and do those two things.
Comment so we know it was you.
Comment so we know it was you.
Thanks, guys.
And I'll send you a free sticker. Just DM me your address, and that'll be heading straight your way.
And we won't give it to Seth. Seth will not get your address.
They're not going to let me back in this podcast.
Oh, come on.
So fuck all you people. Fuck everyone in America and any other country. You're all pieces of shit.
So find us on YouTube and watch Carter's stand-up special. And the best way to support the show, patreon.com/thegoodspod. Second best way to support the show, head to Apple Podcast, rate, review, and subscribe. Show that attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, we're going to kidnap ourselves and want $375 exactly. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter @TheGoodsPod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.